better player.
It's a pointless bet.
No, he will be.
I'm just sick to death of seeing Crookie come on, going on like Spurs, just because we've got cash to spend, right? And we're throwing it about, right? And everyone's getting yump about it.
Hold on.
We're paying
You know what you are, Jamie?
What's
you know
going
what Tottenham
on?
are? You know when you're a kid and you get your first Saturday job, right? It could be at a supermarket, it could be in a restaurant, it could be in a bar, and you get your first pay packet and you spend it in 24 hours.
What's wrong with you two? Jay.
We've
all done it, mate. Went out and bought Bentley with my signing on.
Jay. Hold on. Calm down, you two.
talkSPORT Sports Update with NordVPN. Avoid scams, phishing and malware with our most advanced VPN. Now with built-in next-gen antivirus.
For the headlines at 4:01, I'm Tom Clayton. Good afternoon. With less than a week to go, the transfer window is taking shape. First, talkSPORT understands Bradley Barcola is closing in on a move to Liverpool. That's a £100 million fee, rising to 120 with add-ons. And in the last hour, Tottenham have confirmed Omar Marmoush has joined on a loan. That's a £50 million obligation with 10 more in add-ons. Former Spurs and Egypt striker Mido has told talkSPORT his versatility will be a key strength.
He can play on the left side. He can play as a striker, but I think De Zerbi will use him as a striker. Now, in the squad that we can see at Tottenham, he will be the best striker at Tottenham, or the best option for De Zerbi.
Elsewhere, it's talkSPORT's understanding Atletico Madrid sent a delegation to London last week to discuss selling Julian Alvarez to Arsenal. Alvarez missed Atletico training for a second day in a row today. Meanwhile, Enzo Maresca says Ayub Buwadi could feature for City against Palace tomorrow night. That's going to be live on talkSPORT. UEFA is considering new criminal proceedings against FIFA alleging criminal mismanagement. They've sent a petition of documents off to the US, which talkSPORT's Ben Jacobs explains.
The petition, seen by talkSPORT, asks for authorization for subpoenas for two US-based departments of FIFA in order to gain the production of documents and communications as UEFA compiles a case against Infantino.
And England are recovering after 4 wickets at Lords this morning. There has been another talkSPORT Sam Allard.
Yeah, game nicely poised. England 123 for 5. That 5th wicket to fall was Dan Lawrence, the only one of the afternoon session. Ran out for 17 by Shah Masood. Good fielding at mid-wicket. Jamie Smith has just come to the crease, not out on 2. Jordan Cox is unbeaten on 43. Pakistan with 4 wickets in the morning session. The first 3 all falling to Mohammad Abbas. So good and effective with that new ball, including the England captain Joe Root for 4. But it's Cox and Jamie Smith out of the crease for England to score 123 for 5.
talkSPORT News.
Officials are warning of imminent second Nepal flood threat and safety uncompromised, but 9 million customers' data has been accessed after a cyber attack on 3 English airports. More with Toby at 5:30.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit. With over 400 EV-ready centres across the UK, we're top of the league for electric car owners. Visit quickfit.com and book today.
Weather warnings for thunderstorms remain in place in central areas. That band of rain moves in a northwesterly direction this afternoon. Warm and humid, especially in the south.
Hello everyone, good afternoon. Welcome to Champions League Drive. Yeah, Champions League Drive on talkSPORT. It's me, Andy Goldstein, and the superstar alongside me goes by the name of Darren, by the way, Darren Bent.
I'll
Andy Goldstein.
make love to you.
How are you, mate? You alright? Nice to see you ready. Turn up in a dressing room like that before a game, do you?
This is how I always get ready.
Oh, what, all unplugged, all over the place?
Yeah, everything. I like the back. You. Oh, do you want to fix our background?
Good background, well fixed. But Jingo, if we got a show for you today, we'll look back on a big old win for Spurs last night as they smashed Charlton's reserves. We'll also bring you the Champions League draw live. Our European football expert guru, the wonderful Kevin Hatchard, will be joining us in the studio to break it all down for you. We'll also bring you this week's Drive Worldwide as we take a look at the big stories around the world, and We'll look ahead to tonight's action as Luton, go on Jack Wilshere, head to Chelsea in the League Cup on talkSPORT, and Brighton welcome Tromso to the Amex in their Conference League clash on talkSPORT 2. This is Champions League Drive. We are here on talkSPORT. This is Drive, and you can be a part of the show. 03717 223344.
We'll have a bit of that.
We will have a bit of that. DB, good to see you.
We'll have a bit of
Always get very excited before our show. I really do. A lot of people have said to me, like, you've been doing it for a long time now. Do you still... I never get nervous, but I get excited.
You get that
like,
certain shows you get a buzz. Yeah.
And today's one of those because it's Champions League draw.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Kev as well because Kev knows about every single player and every single team in Europe on the planet.
Yeah. So I'm just a little bit distracted by our background, which someone has very cleverly added all the badges of the sides involved in today's Champions League draw. Manchester United, good work.
Congratulations, back in it.
But yeah, it's quite nice, isn't it? Maybe that's another reason why I'm so excited about it.
Right.
I can see all the badges now, so it's not too long to wait. I think the first button will be pressed in just over an hour's time.
Yeah. Do you like the button, or do you prefer the old way?
Well, the old way would take so long.
Yeah, but the button, I just don't trust the button.
No, the button is just a button. It sort of feels like the lover's gone from it, romance.
I'm not gonna lie to you. At times, I almost feel like they've already preempted it.
You can't say that. You can't say that. You can't suggest.
I can suggest what I like.
No, you can't suggest what you like.
I can.
Okay, well, they're the views of Darren Bent, not talkSPORT.
Okay, that's fine. The views of Darren
Oh,
Bent.
well, you get sued and we don't. Happy days.
Sometimes I think...
You saying it's fixed?
Sometimes I think they maybe pre-planned the draw.
You saying it's fixed?
I'm not saying it's fixed, I'm saying they pre-planned it.
So it's fixed?
Huh? I cannot confirm or deny that.
Well, why you said it then?
I'm just saying that
He's in a world of trouble now, boy.
I-
You're on your own here, by the way. This is nothing to do with talkSPORT or me.
I prefer the balls in the bag.
I bet you do. Make your own jokes up at home.
When you draw the...
Oh, I see. Right. Okay. Sorry. That's what I thought you meant. Yeah.
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah.
Yeah, but that doesn't really happen anymore. Balls in a bag for the Champions League draw was never balls in a bag. It was balls in a see-through pot.
Yeah, I don't mind that. I like it then. Feel authentic.
No, but balls in a bag is what you want. No, I can't stand that. I saw, what was the draw? Sort of League Cup draw, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yesterday I've lost track of the world. Yesterday. And there's like 2 balls left. And they still, I think it was Jamie Redknapp, put his hand in and went, there's only 2.
Yeah, but
just pick one.
You got to do that, yeah.
Have you ever done a draw, by the way?
Yeah, I did it. I've done a League Cup draw before.
Why have we not been invited to do the draw?
Actually, I've done a couple on talkSPORT too.
Yeah, but no one listens to that. We should be invited to do the draw for a stage of a big competition.
Why is that? I need you to...
Me and you, we're synonymous with football.
Oh,
people love us. They love you, and I'm there for the ride. Did I tell you that time I did the draw for the World Snooker Championships, the prelims?
You got it wrong, didn't you? You did something wrong.
Well, it was just the last ball I pulled out was a 9, and I went number 9, and they went, you pulled it out, and I went, I think I pulled the 6 out by mistake. But yeah, anyway, but that's probably the reason why we're not invited back. Before we move on with the show, I think you should tell everyone at home what you're currently watching on Netflix.
So I'm watching a program on Netflix now. I think it's called, if I can remember.
Yeah.
It's called...
There's a reason I'm asking, by the way, everyone.
It's called Brazil 70, The Third Star.
Okay, so it sounds all about Brazil.
Yeah.
Edson Arantes do Nascimento, Pele.
Yes, so it's about, obviously, the manager getting sacked and then him picking his squad for the World Cup, which they're obviously going to win.
Now, most people watch that with subtitles on because it's going to be Brazilian.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Right.
So it's actually quite good, other than the American dubbed.
I've chosen to watch it.
In American dubbed. Well,
And that
that's the option it came with.
And so Pele would be like, hey, yeah, man, I'm looking forward to playing in the World Cup.
Carlos Alberto, Jorginho, hey, over here, man. It's like, do you know what I mean?
It does take some of them.
It is appalling.
Why have you chosen to do that?
Zagallo, you got sack? Okay, don't worry. Do you know what I mean?
Felix, what a goalkeeper you are, man.
Yeah, it's honestly awful. Got to bring the cup home.
Can we play a bit of that later on, Joe? We're allowed to lift a bit of that and play it.
The third start.
Pele talking American.
I'm still going to watch. It's a series. I'm still going to watch it because listen.
We need to win the World Cup. We didn't win in '66.
Yeah, because I didn't know he retired from international football before that, and had to kind of coax him back out again.
Do you know what I didn't know? I didn't know, right?
He's won, but he didn't play in one of them.
62 final, never played.
Never played.
That don't count, does it?
Yeah, of course it does.
How many times has Paul Scholes won the Champions League? Once or twice?
Twice, is it?
Well, he's won it twice, but he didn't play in '99.
No.
So you count as winning it?
Well, some guys do, some guys don't. But Pele's obviously, but listen, he's had a big impact.
Did Jimmy Greaves, God bless him, did he win the World Cup?
Yeah.
He didn't play in the
Maybe
final.
a big part.
I know that.
Yes, I think it's because it's a tournament. I think if you play a part in the tournament,
okay,
then
But that sort of goes under the radar. It's like he won 3 World Cups. Oh, 58, yes. 62, no. 70, yes.
Yeah.
Bit strange, that, isn't it?
What, 58, 62, and 70?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He won it in 66.
He won it, man. But in 66, they kicked him out of it. They showed
Hey,
it.
man.
Was it Portugal? They kicked him out. Pele.
What are you talking about?
In 66.
What, What, the country that beat Brazil?
Yeah, kicked him. Portugal, wasn't it? They just kicked him all over the place.
I think that was at Goodison Park, you know.
And he went off injured.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, they're going to carry me off. He's injured.
Yeah, done something to my knee.
Yeah, honestly. Other than that, it's actually quite a good watch.
We need to play some of that. We need to play.
Got to bring the cup home back to Brazil.
Right, we've got a busy show from about just after 5 o'clock. The draw for the Champions League proper will be happening. It'll be happening live on our show. And to help, well, not to help explain it, to explain it, because we don't really understand. A button's pressed, we don't really know what happens. And you don't either, let's be fair. No one can actually phone up and categorically tell us.
Is that what's called? Is that stat that I use? Oh no, what did I use again? Oh no, XG. And he's explain it. I know it, but I can't quite explain it.
XG should be banned. It means absolutely nothing.
No, you need that.
It doesn't. You can't explain it.
Well, no, but you can't explain the Champions League, but you can.
No, I know, but I
love it though.
I do love Champions League. Kevin Atchell will be our guest in about half an hour's time. He'll be in the studio at 4:45, and then we've got him till, I think, half past 6, something like that. But he'll be able to explain everything. The reason I'm telling you that is because if you've got any questions about your side in the Champions League or any questions about a team in the Champions League, if you text him, we don't really put out the text number because I don't think people text that often, but 81089, if you've got a question for Kev, text it in. We've got people working on the text machine and they'll print them out and we'll put them to Kev throughout today's show. I think that's going to be quite interesting. But that's coming up a bit later on. We're going to start with Spurs because they were 5-1 winners against Charlton's reserves in the Carabao Cup last night. So, are Spurs back?
Savio. Welcome to Tottenham Hotspur. 10 minutes after coming on, he's got the biggest beaming smile in North London. Much changed Charlton team, well beaten. Spurs 5, Charlton 1.
5-1 without Marmoush. 5-1 without Marmoush. Yeah. I'm seeing signs.
I mean, I think De Zerbi is an excellent coach. I think it will translate onto the pitch.
Charlton fielded a team so weak, they made Spurs look good.
Yeah, Tottenham bounced back from their opening day defeat to Brentford. That was a 5-1 win at home to Charlton last night. The away side did make 10 changes from their win against West Ham from the weekend. The Spurs boss Roberto De Zerbi spoke afterwards and said the hard work is far from over.
It's normal in sport, sometimes you can lose, but the day after it's normal in sport, sometimes you can lose, but the day after you have to react. The personality, you have to show the right behavior. I think personality, the character, the right behavior. Team. I think now we are trying to become a real team, with many new players, very good players. So I think but we are not a team yet. But to be positive, because work is hard. But to be positive, because this season we are building a very strong team.
Spurs beat a championship side.
Mm-hmm.
They smashed them at home 5-1.
Yep.
That team made 10 changes. Can you read anything whatsoever into last night's result? Does it mean? Not does it mean it? Of course it means something. But is there any reason for Spurs fans to go, oh, here we go, it begins now?
I mean, listen, I guess it was a glimpse into the new signings, which I think that's always important, and I always found that was important. That even if I went to a new club and my first game was in pre-season against whoever it may be, a lower league side, I always felt like it was important to hit the ground running. And I think for Savio last night,
what were you going to call him?
Savinho.
No, I don't know who you talked about.
Yeah, Savio. I thought, really impressive coming on, doing what he did. I thought it was big for Solanke as well. A lot of people saying...
I was going to ask you about that goal.
Yeah, big for him as well, because I always think in those scenarios, if you don't score, you're giving someone ammunition to go, see, he can't even score. Even if people go, you score a couple, or you score one, people go, well, it was only Charlton's reserves. Go, well, fair enough, I did what I needed to do at the end of the day. But I just think from a...
Yeah, there's no negative side to scoring.
No, there's not.
Yeah.
So I just think from a positive standpoint, I think, you'd have gone there, you'd have seen your side win at home as well. And listen, Charlton, this is no disrespect to Tottenham, but Charlton have got bigger fish to fry. They're flying, they're doing really well in the Championship.
You sort of felt, in the interview afterwards with Nathan Jones, it was almost like he didn't want to be there in the first place.
It almost feels like it was a hindrance.
Yeah, it was.
We don't really need this game. We haven't got the biggest squad as it is, but we don't want any more injuries. So, and we've started off the Championship season really well. But no, it was good for Spurs. I think it was good for Mikey Moore to get his first goal for the club. So there are positives, but I mean, I'm not going to take anything from them beating Charlton's kind of second string and all of a sudden thinking, do you know what? They could finish in the Champions League.
Yeah.
No, those two don't relate.
Omar Mamouche it's been confirmed now. What level can he take them to? I mean, the next level seems a little bit mad, right?
Well, I don't know what the next level is because, I mean, they finished 17th. So could he help them get into the top 10? Yes, because I think he's a very good player. Do I think they've recruited really well? Yeah, I do. adding to what they've already got. I think the minimum requirement so far for Spurs have got to be top 8. Now, at face value, you might go, only top 8. But you are talking about a team that finished 17th twice. So I think for them to have them 2 seasons and then finish in the top 8 and a comfortable season, I think you go, okay, fair enough. And then if they go again, recruitment in the summer, after finishing top 8, then you go again.
Yeah. There's a fine line between backing your side, believing in your side, and losing all sight of reality, right? Now, I did a little poll in our meeting as to where Spurs will finish. Billy, one more Billy, he just said one word, and that was 6.
Yeah.
Producer Joe says the best they can hope for is 4th.
Yeah.
And you also said 6th.
Yeah.
Will there be Spurs fans listening to this, hand on heart, think they can win the Premier League?
No, I don't think you'll find any that.
Not one Spurs fan.
I don't think so. You'll get some that say they can challenge, but I don't think you'll get any that say that we can win it.
You don't?
No.
Why?
Because that's so unrealistic.
Okay, no, none of us lot said Spurs will get top 3.
No, I don't think so. I think there are better sides. Even with the recruitment, there are still better sides than them.
Okay. We'll take calls on this. As I mentioned, Kevin Attar's joined us in the studio. We will concentrate from about 4:45 onwards for the next hour and a quarter on the Champions League. That draw is happening live on our show, so you won't miss anything. Make sure you keep talkSPORT on all afternoon. But before that, we have got time for your calls, certainly from Spurs fans. The best you can hope for if you're in the talkSPORT office with our gang is top 4. That's producer Joe. Any Spurs fans listening to this thinking top 3, and any top Tottenham fans listening thinking you can actually win the Premier League. 03717223344. Are Spurs back?
It's a win, Chaz.
Yeah.
But it is Charlton. Come on. That's not going to be the measure, is it? We're not going to find out too much about Spurs against Charlton.
No, we won't. But it just shows what the EFL Cup meant to Charlton.
Yeah.
They made 10 changes.
Yeah. Well, they were underdogs and they went into it, and I suppose they're thinking, listen, we're not going to win it. Let's make sure. Because promotion is the most important thing with Charlton. Like I said, unbeaten so far, so they're very much in the hunt for that promotion race. 03717223344. He's Charlie Austin. I'm Jason Cundy. Have you been to a game? Tell us what you've seen. Tell us what you've heard. Let's go straight to the lines. Let's go and speak to Trev, who's a Spurs fan. All right, Trev?
Trev?
Hello, Jace. Spurs are back.
Spurs are back, Trev.
Spurs are back.
Spurs are back.
Definitely.
No, yeah.
Honestly, tonight, I know it was Charlton.
Trev, drop me out, mate.
But it's 5-1.
Trev.
Jace.
Trev.
5-1.
Trev.
Savinho,
Trev.
Well, lovely.
Trev.
Yeah.
Come on, mate. 5. Take the win, right? Go home.
Jace,
and go to bed. No, it's fine. The Spurs aren't back, Trev. Come on, mate. You lot were an absolute disgrace. No, you're not.
Wait till Saturday,
No,
Dave. You're
chaps,
a
all serious.
different Spurs side.
All right, so chaps, a different Spurs side from what we see Saturday evening, which was the same old Spurs. Then you've just beaten Charlton reserves / under 23s, and now all of a sudden Spurs are back. I don't see it.
Chaz, just wait until Saturday before you comment any further, please. Because honestly, you got to give us a chance.
Try and pick up a bell. Try and pick up a few bells, eh?
I'll throw him out of the ring.
Express.
Job and talkSPORT, it's me, Andy Goldstein Darren Bent alongside me, and producer Joe's in the studio trying to fix a problem he's not fixed.
Someone's put here, yeah, I think if Leicester can win the league after a relegation battle, there's no reason why we can't.
A Spurs fan.
Yep.
We are asking Spurs fans, do you genuinely believe hand on heart you can win the Premier League? We've got it here. One more. Billy says 6 is his best they can hope for. Joe is 4 and Benty is 6. I'm sort of in the middle of all of you. I think about 5th.
Yeah.
5th would be unbelievable for Tottenham.
Yeah, it'd be incredible.
I think it's not just they can't finish high. It's just there's other teams.
Yeah.
That I think.
But even I think even top half, considering the last couple of seasons, I think you'd go, okay.
Yeah. We'll take calls on this in just a sec. Let me remind you that from 5 o'clock, well, 4:45, but from 5 o'clock is when it all starts. Kevin Hatchard, our European football expert, will be with us in the studio. The draw for the Champions League will be live on our show. And any questions you've got for Kevin about maybe a team that your team could be playing or a player you should look out for, text in 81089. Right, in a moment we'll go to the phone lines. We're talking Tottenham. But first, England, they're up against Pakistan. We keep going over to Sam Eddard for updates. And now is no different. Sam, where are we at?
We are at England 152 for 5. A decent rebuilding job after Pakistan dominated the majority of the morning session. England were 36 for 3. Mohammad Abbas taking 3 early wickets for Pakistan, including the big one of the captain, Joe Root, was then 77 for 4 just before lunch when Harry Brook was bowled by an absolute booty from Kuram Shazad. But from 77 for 4 to 156 for 5, England rebuilding nicely. Jordan Cox to 3 just past 50. He's 54 not out, playing in just his third test match. He's back-to-back 50s now for England's new number 3, playing with Jacob Ethel injured. The only wicket to fall in the afternoon session, Dan Lawrence ran out for 17, using his feet to the spinner Usman Ali, knocking it to mid-wicket. Came down for a run, sent back by Jordan Cox. Good fielding by Shan Masood. Jamie Smith is unbeaten on 23, though he was dropped on 15, edging Muhammad Ali, and Mohammed Rizwan, the keeper, diving to his right-hand side, and the ball bounced just in front of him and went along to the boundary. So Cox is on 54, Smith's on 23, England 158 for 5.
Thank you, Sam. Right, let's go to the phone lines. Tottenham fans queuing up to have their say. First up is Rob, a Spurs fan. Rob, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Andy. Darren, how are you?
We're good, thanks for asking. How are you today?
Yeah, I'm good. I think we're going to finish in the top 2.
Not first?
Possible, depends if Arsenal slip up, but other than that, second.
Okay. Wow. What makes you think that you'll be above Liverpool, Manchester City, Chelsea, Manchester United?
I've just got a feeling our team's going to bond and we will get above you.
But why? I mean, you sound like
that
you're an intelligent man, Rob, right?
Yeah.
I mean, 17th to 2nd has only been done once before, and that's 17th to 1st, and that was, well, I think they finished 14th that season, Leicester. But either way, they were floating around the relegation spot for a long time till Pearson sort of helped them out of that.
It can't happen twice.
I mean, there's nothing to say it won't happen, but based on what? Like, I said this before. I said this on Monday. No team wins the Premier League with an average goalkeeper or a decent goalkeeper. You haven't got a decent goalkeeper.
I agree with you. The goalie needs to go.
Yeah.
But other than that,
do you think you can win the league?
I do think we can win the league. Yeah.
You think Spurs can win the league?
Yeah. I've been a Tottenham fan for 54 years, and I do believe we can win the league.
Is that the first time you've said it in 54 years?
No.
So every time you've said it, you've been wrong.
Last time I said it was 2016.
And you were wrong.
And I was there when we got beat.
Yeah, but you were wrong.
What, in 2016?
Yeah, you didn't win the league that year, did you?
No, we got done by Eden Hazard at Chelsea. I was there.
So you were wrong.
Yeah, but I won't be wrong this time.
Okay. Spurs going to win the league, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you make of that, D?
Yeah, it's more optimism than anything. I mean, I don't think
It's not optimism more than anything. It's madness more than anything.
Yeah, he knows they can't. I mean, they've got a good squad there, but you're right. You asked a good question. All of a sudden, because they've signed these players, they're not going past City, Liverpool, Chelsea, United. This is not happening.
Look, my team, Man United, we have got no chance. One game played, we've got no chance. Not because we lost, we just don't have it yet.
No.
It's just we're so far off Arsenal.
But yet these...
I don't get it. Bradley's a Spurs fan. Hi, Brad.
How you doing, lads? You all right?
Good, man. The last Spurs fan we had on said Spurs are going to win the league.
Yeah, no, it's not going to happen.
Okay,
I
why?
mean, we're in the process of a rebuild. I mean, to expect us to win the league straight away is ridiculous. I mean, we didn't really do too well against Brentford. Yeah, we've got a few new signings and they're good signings.
Well. You stunk out the place.
Well, yeah, absolutely rubbish. But I mean, so looking at that performance, we need a lot more to even consider about winning a league.
What's the best you can hope for this season?
So for myself, I'm happy for a top 10 finish, anywhere in the top
realistic.
10. To be fair, I don't see us getting Champions League football. See us getting European football, if anything, which I'd be happy with. But obviously then next year I'd like to push on and be better than what we were this year.
Sure.
Just mad.
Thanks for your honesty, Brad. Go on, sorry.
Yeah, that last football fan, right, said about they could win it. Think about how long it took Arsenal to build that team for them to win the first one under Arteta. You're talking about, what, 6-7 years? Oh, I don't know how I've done that. Yeah, like 7 years. But all of a sudden now, because they've had one good transfer window, spent over 400 million or whatever it is, they can win the league now.
The one question I should have asked him, which I'm annoyed I didn't, have you got a better squad than Man City? You haven't.
No.
So what makes you think you're going to be better than Man City?
Yeah, it's bizarre.
It's insane, isn't it?
Yeah. But everyone's going to have that opinion because Leicester did it. Like Leicester won't happen. That Leicester situation, which for me is the greatest in Premier League history, won't happen again.
Yeah, and if it does, it would.
I mean, they're
100 years time.
When you look at their recruitment, like Mahrez, Kanté, Vardy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
The Spurs fans will say, "Well, how do you know we haven't recruited like that?"
Okay, I guess time will tell.
Yeah.
But they've not got to the best possible start, have they?
They haven't indeed. Still to come, we'll find out who Arsenal, Liverpool, Man City, Aston Villa and Manchester United will face in the league phase of the Champions League because the draw for that is taking place live on our show in about 30 minutes' time. Our European football expert Kevin Hatchard will be joining us in the studio to explain it all, really. First, so it's time for No Googling. We want to know which country has had the most teams compete in the Champions League or European Cup. I think it's not per season, on the whole. Does that make sense?
So the UK might have had 30 teams.
Exactly that. Yeah. The answer's 15, by the way. 15 teams in total have come from one country. It's not England. Wow. Yeah. Great question. Great question. The answer to that and so much more. And the Champions League draw live coming your way on Drive this afternoon.
Michael, where are you with Isaac at this moment? I just think that particular penalty, Szoboszlai was always taking it, and likes of Isaac had far more to lose than he had to gain by taking that penalty. But where are you with Isaac at this moment in time? And he looks to me, he obviously he's had big injury problems and all that stuff. The move was well documented. You know, Newcastle fans are unhappy. What's it going to take for him to get playing with a regular confidence and show the ability that we know he has?
Well, I'm not sure about you, Ali, but I had plenty of injuries in my career, so I know how hard it is to get back, and you do need a bit of time. And everybody's given him time and understood that, but then he's sort of finished the season, then he's gone to the World Cup, and now he's had a pre-season, and you just think, okay, now we're starting to run out of excuses. We need to start seeing the real Isak, and we know how good he is. I mean, wow, we saw him for Newcastle. I mean, he's absolute class. But we haven't seen it for Liverpool just yet, and I think, you know, questions will come now. As I say, always give him the benefit of the doubt in the past with Liverpool, but at the start of this season now we're expecting, and Liverpool absolutely need him. They've lost Salah, Ekitike's out, There's not that many options in attacking areas. They absolutely need him to be on top form. Yesterday, he was far from it. I thought he was a yard off, and that's worrying. But so was Wirtz. I thought he was really quiet as well. So, it wasn't the greatest performance for Liverpool. They actually did well to scrounge a point in the end. But obviously, he's the big money signing. He's headline maker. And, I can't say he played well because he really didn't.
Over the last few years, Formula One has gone from elitist and insular to a global entertainment brand. The transformation's down to American investment group Liberty Media, who cultivated a new image for the sport since buying it in 2016. Better access to drivers, improved content on social media, and tapping into the US market have given F1 a massive boost in both attention and revenues. But is everyone happy? The fans certainly are, as evidenced by Drive to Survive. Almost 7 million people per season have tuned in to get all the gossip and all the drama from the paddock. The extra exposure means the drivers can demand a higher salary too. In 2010, the top drivers were earning $20 million a year, which isn't bad. But now, the very best earn 3 times that, with Max Verstappen getting a whopping $65 million in 2025. But money doesn't always buy happiness. Some drivers, including Verstappen, don't like the pageantry the changes have brought about. In Las Vegas in 2023, Verstappen said the drivers were made to look like clowns, and the event was 99% performance and 1% race. Some purists who still watch the sport feel the same, and that the spirit of competition has suffered. But Formula One and Liberty Media don't look like slowing down anytime soon. So expect more races, major events and exclusive access in future.
Listen, Drive and talkSPORT. It's me, Andy Goldstein, the giggler. You can hear his Darren Bent alongside. In a moment, we'll say hello to a superstar. But in fact, I can say hello to him now because he might help us with the answer. Hello, Kevin Hatchard.
Hello.
Oh, I've just spotted everything because you've got a jingle and all that. We'll still play it. The reason I've introed you now is because the answer to the question, which countries had the most teams compete in the Champions League or European Cup? The answer's, do you know it?
Yeah, I
didn't want to throw you under a bus.
Now, producer Joe can back me up here because he saw the cogs whirring in my brain.
So what?
So I did work it out.
Okay. Yeah. No, I thought that's what you said. How many is it?
So it's 15, isn't it?
And what country?
It is Germany.
I'll give you £1 million if you can name them all.
Easy.
£1 million?
Yeah.
Can't make one mistake.
Well, Leipzig.
Hold on. Yeah. Hold on. RB Leipzig, so you're out. Do you want me to rattle them up? There's so many.
Kaiserslautern, Werder Bremen.
Yeah.
Bayern, obviously, Dortmund.
I'm looking at one. When you say that one, we'll stop. Go on, keep going.
Hoffenheim.
Yeah.
Who at Leverkusen?
Yeah.
Borussia Mönchengladbach.
Right.
Who else has made the Champions League? No, I've slowed down now.
Yeah.
Brain's gone.
Hertha.
Hertha
BSC.
Yes.
That's a bank, isn't it?
Hertha Berlin.
It's a tough one. Still to come, we'll discuss Liverpool splashing the cash on Bradley Barcola. But you've probably worked it out. It's time now for this.
Drive worldwide. Why?
Yeah, it's time for a bit of Drive Worldwide where we take a look at some of the biggest talking points from across the world of football. Join us now in the studio, of course, is our European football expert, guru, if you want to combine the two. It's Kevin Hatchard. Kev, you're here not just for today's Drive...
Whoa.
How are we, chaps? We well?
Yeah, honestly.
I feel terrible.
No.
You should apologise.
He lives for this.
Right.
We have to get this right.
Play the intro again. We can't do that again. Time now for this. Have you got it, Al? It's going to take a long time. Time now for this. Yeah. Got to do it properly.
Drive worldwide. Why?
Yes, time for a bit of Drive Worldwide where we take a look at some of the biggest talking points from across the world of football. Joining us now in the studio is the catchphrase king. No one forgets that. It's our European football expert, Kevin Hatchard. Hello, Kev.
How are we, chaps? We well?
We are
There we
well.
go. Great.
We are really good.
Come on.
I am too.
Like
Great
top.
to be here. Thank you very much.
Me and Kev were talking earlier in the break about a third division player that plays in Belgium.
You've got to get out more, you two.
But that's Kev. His knowledge.
Even I have my limits. Absolutely.
We've got you in because we've got a bit of Drive Worldwide, but obviously we've got the Champions League draw. Now, we were talking in our meeting this morning, or this afternoon, about how it works, the buttons pressed, and we all sort of pretended we knew. We don't really know. We know there's buttons pressed and we know there's pots, but you're going to explain it in great detail a bit later on.
I am.
Are you aware of that?
I am aware of that. Don't you worry.
You're just mad. It comes no notes. Just
got it all. As Homer Simpson says, it's all written down up there.
There are reams of paper outside. Don't you worry.
Do you like the Champions? I mean, we should talk about this later on, but are you a fan of the way the draw's done now compared to how it used to be?
Not really. I understand why it's got to be like that because it's so complicated and there's so many kind of different permutations. What I do like is the league phase. When it first got introduced, I wondered how it was going to go because I was quite a fan of the group stage. But then the more you think about it, the more you think actually what it's been able to do is maintain the jeopardy. We've had some great stories still. Karabakh, Bodo Glimt. I think we'll have more this season. We've already got more with some of the teams that we'll discuss later that have made it. And so, and we've got jeopardy all the way through to match day 8. So I think it's been a success.
Me and Andy were talking yesterday, Kev. Do you think the Champions League is better with a Celtic or Rangers in it or not? Because I even though they're not good enough, I like to see in the Champions League Celtic or Rangers there, one of them.
But can I just ask, sorry, before you answer, I was saying that I was asking, do we see Rangers and Celtic differently to the rest of Europe? You know the way we look at like Karabakh, right? No, I'm not comparing. Sorry, maybe that's come out.
No, I take your point.
You understand what I'm saying? Do they go like Rangers and Celtic? What? They can't even qualify.
No, I think there's an acceptance that they're massive football clubs, and they are. If you look at the history, if you look at what Celtic have done in the European Cup, I think, however, Celtic and Rangers suffer from the same reality that other teams do, in the sense that they obviously Hearts changed it last season and did brilliantly last season, but generally the level of competition is so far below what they can provide, and generally that's been obviously Celtic for most of the last few years. It is really difficult to make that leap then, and you have to get things right in the transfer market, and I don't think they always have.
Let's pause that conversation out, otherwise we'll have nothing to talk about in 20 minutes. Of course that would never happen, but let's talk about the movers and shakers across Europe. And one mover, hopefully, will be going up to first place in the Ballon d'Or for my money, will be Harry Kane. Now, the winner of the Ballon d'Or will be announced in October. Harry Kane, of course, among the favourites after scoring, 73 goals for club and country last season. If you were to call it right now, who's your maybe 1, 2 and 3, or even 1 if it's easier for you to answer that, but has he got a chance of winning it, Kane?
Well, look, for me, personally, it's a straight fight between him and Kvaratskhelia. I think it should be, because you're either talking about a guy in Kane that's won a domestic double, has had a really big impact in winning that domestic double, got his team to the Champions League semi-finals, and then performed well for England at a major tournament. So you're either talking about that, or you're simply talking about the guy who was the best player in the Champions League.
But do you think, from what you watch French football, I don't, but from what I'm led to believe, he only got to the levels he got to in the Champions League in that competition His league form was nowhere near.
Yeah, well, if you look at the way PSG tend to tiptoe their way through the domestic season so that they are ready for the big games in the Champions League, I think that's fair to say. So I think if you're looking at numbers, if you're looking at sheer volume of contributions, you go for Kane. I think Kane's all-round game merits it as well. I think the way he's improved, I think the way he's taken on a leadership role with Bayern, I think he's been phenomenal. And he would be a worthy winner of it. But I think there's a lot of people who look at Kvaratskhelia and they believe, with some justification, he is right now the best player in the world.
Do you think you have to win the Champions League or the World Cup to win the Ballon d'Or?
I think Kvaratskhelia is disadvantaged because Georgia obviously don't tend to make major tournaments. They did make the Euros, of course, but they haven't made the World Cup. So I think that does count against him, unfortunately.
If Kane would have won the Champions League, would it be a no contest now?
Yeah, I think so. Absolutely.
Okay.
Because what ended up happening is because Spain won the World Cup, you've then got Rodri, who didn't have a great domestic season and obviously was coming off that injury. You've got him suddenly in the mix. Lamine Yamal is brilliant, but was he at the level that he was at the Euros? No. Probably not. And obviously had that injury going into the World Cup. So I think that's very much brought Kane into prominence.
Okay, I need to ask you about another player. I need some good news. Julian Alvarez. Potentially going to Arsenal. Could he be there by the end of the window, do you think? Or do you think you'll end up going elsewhere?
It could happen. It is increasingly looking like Arsenal or nothing. He stays at Atletico.
Isn't that an Amazon Prime doc?
Yeah, that's the latest. Okay. That's the latest one. Because Atleti, at least publicly, are saying over and over again, we are not going to sell to Barcelona. It's a matter of dignity. It's not just, about money. It's not just us trying to get a bit more out of Barcelona. We do not accept the way they have behaved towards us. We do not accept the way they have allegedly unsettled the player by turning his head, and they're fed up with it. So they're saying we either keep him, which is what we would ideally like to do, or he moves on elsewhere, but we are not selling to Barcelona. So if that's the case, the place where he wants to go is no longer an option. So then he's got to decide, do I tough it out in a very toxic environment?
Yeah.
Or do I go back to England? I don't think that was his top choice. But look, Arsenal's a very attractive club.
I've got two questions on him. Firstly, where's his best position? And secondly, why no other big English clubs coming in for him other than just Arsenal?
Well, there's a financial aspect to that.
How much are we talking?
Well, 150 million euro.
150 million euros, okay.
So a hell of a lot of money. I mean, Atletico spent big on him in the first place to bring him in, and they don't want to let him go.
Yeah.
He's really important to them because also there's a kind of message that sends. If they do sell him, they're not serious about winning La Liga. They're not serious about competing for the top honours, and it is really difficult then. So it's a shame the way it's turned out. I don't think they handled it well at the weekend because Alvarez was on the pitch for the game against Villarreal at the end, and they told him, go to the dressing room on your own. Their justification would probably be, it'll mean that you're away from the fans quicker. But it just looked like he stormed down the tunnel.
Yeah,
and somebody chucked a scarf.
and
it was a terrible decision.
Awful.
And I just think...
Also, I feel that's the club not protecting him to some extent.
Well, I just think
if they loved him, that wouldn't have happened.
I think Simeone has kind of tried to play it down and tried to fight the fires as best he can. But then it's difficult. Sometimes he says things that hang him out to dry a bit. So it's really difficult. If you're Arsenal, though, just to flip this around, if you can get him, you get him. Because he is one of the world's best strikers.
Where you you playing him down the middle? Because he has played out there.
Yeah. I know it's been talked about that Martinelli could go and he could be the option on the left. No, he has to play through the middle for me.
Okay.
Obviously, within that, he has movement and he, drops in and whatever. But I think he's a striker.
If that's the case, then, Kev, would you then see? I know it's quite late in the window, but then if he was to come in and Arsenal stomp the money, do you then think potentially Gyökeres might go, because you can't have Havertz, Gyökeres, and Alvarez?
It's very difficult to do that. I mean, you have to then bear in mind how much do we think Kai Havertz can play? Do we trust that he is fully fit? Do we trust that, how do we manage his minutes? If we're going to go for everything as a club, every trophy, do we think we need 3 top-line strikers? And obviously Gabriel Jesus has been linked with a move away, hasn't he? Whether that would go down with Gyökeres is a completely different thing, because if you get brought in and you think, great, I'm going to be Arsenal's number 9, you've signed Julian Alvarez a year later, that's a pretty tough one to take. I wouldn't be mega surprised if you went as part of the swap.
Okay, a quick word about Jose returning to the Bernabeu, however you want to say it. 4-1 winners over Real Sociedad. Vinicius got one. Mbappe with a hat-trick as well.
It was all really positive.
Wow. How long's that going to last?
And also, there was a lot of love for Jude Bellingham as well in that.
Yeah.
Didn't he say it's his best signing or something? I saw a quote this morning that Jose came out and said, it's one of his favourite signings.
Yeah, he's been talking up everyone. I mean, the stuff he's been saying about Mbappe is just unbelievable. It's like, where is the real Jose Mourinho?
He's coming.
Is he in a basement somewhere? What's going on?
You'll see him in about 8 months.
As soon as they get beat by Barca, he'll be out.
But I'll tell you what was interesting.
It was eyes out.
The Bernabeu crowd have been quite happy to boo recently. Booed Vinicius. They've even, they've booed all the major players because they didn't particularly like the way Xabi Alonso was treated. And yet, this reaction from Mourinho was almost universally positive, to the point where he was moved to tears. Now, I'll let you decide how performative that was. Yeah. But there he was, kind of rubbing his eyes on the bench. And they played really good attacking football. They blew away Real Sociedad. They've won their first 2 games in different ways. They scraped the win against Espanyol, but they've played pretty good, and 6 points out of 6.
Good news and bad news. The bad news is that we have to let you go, but you're going to come in from 5 to help us out with the Champions League draw for about an hour and a half.
Yep.
The good news is that because your time is up, I don't know how Ipswich has crept into Drive Worldwide.
I'll get it into the Champions League draw.
No. Don't worry. When we're doing the Champions League draw, we legally have to be an Ipswich-free zone.
Okay. Ezequiel Palacios is a good signing. He's had some injury problems, but I think he's going to be a coup.
Right.
There we go.
Kev, get out. You're a disgrace. Go and think about what you've said.
I will.
Come back in 15 minutes' time. That was Drive Worldwide. Kevin joins us in the studio from 5 and we concentrate on the Champions League draw, which you'll hear live right here on Drive on talkSPORT.
All right, Gabs?
Gabby!
Jamie, what you on about,
the Villa!
You're just jealous, mate. I've been hearing you all day.
What are you on about?
You're talking guff, mate. Just because you're jealous.
What are you on about?
You're jealous.
How can you finish 17 2 years in a row and spend half a bill?
Because we've got the cash, Gabs.
Yeah, but that ain't fair, mate.
See? Jealous.
It ain't fair, Cundy.
No, I agree. Do you know what? I agree with Gabby on this. I totally agree with him.
No.
This has got no. I'm not.
And we can't flipping spend.
I'm not picking sides. I'm telling you now. Villa and Newcastle should be able to spend.
Cry me a river.
No, 100.
Cry me a river.
Jay, listen.
Thank you, Cundy.
I totally agree with him.
Gabs?
Totally agree with him.
Stop crying, mate.
Jamie.
Stop crying,
Totally
mate.
agree with him.
Stop crying.
Jamie.
Gabs.
You're signing rejects from Manchester City.
Good players,
is
mate.
unwanted. Savino's a reject. Robertson's a reject from Liverpool, not wanted anymore. Conor Gallagher's a reject from Atletico Madrid. Spurs are signing rejects.
Hold on a minute. You sold 5 of your best players. All right, you're absolute guff this season. Oh, the rules! Oh, the rules! I thought you was a big club. I thought you was a big club.
Well, we are a big club, but the rules don't let us.
You're not, though.
Because you and your cartel, top 6, you and Cundy, don't want Villa in there.
Don't bring me into this. I want nothing to do with this, Gabby.
Mate, keep you out of it. Only big boys allowed in the top 6, mate. You're not big. You have to sell your best players. We don't have to sell our best players.
17th, right, and go and spend £500 million.
Because we're a big club, Gabs. Stop whinging.
Are we looking at the
bell. Try and pick up a few bells, eh?
I'll throw him out of the ring.
Right hand, and down he goes. He is fabulous.
You're listening to Champions League Drive on talkSPORT. It's me, Andy Goldstein, the coffer, alongside his Darren Bent. We're here in partnership with Giacomo. Get fresh looks and great brands from Giacomo. Now, still to come, we're bringing the draw for the league phase of the Champions League. That's Drive, that's coming up. It all kicks off in 8 minutes' time, so stay where you are. Keep listening to talkSPORT. Just quickly, Chelsea interested in Bournemouth's Alex Scott if they sell Enzo Fernandez to City. Liverpool exploring a move for Crystal Palace's Ismail Assar. Remember, at 5 o'clock, we'll be joined in the studio again by Kevin Atchard to talk us through that Champions League draw. Any questions you got for Kev, text those questions in the old-fashioned way to 1889, or you can send them via, that's probably easier, WhatsApp. I don't know why I didn't think of that. WhatsApp voice. No, is that right? 03717 223344. Send in a voice note via WhatsApp. You can ask Kev yourself. Right, time now for this.
Paddy Power on talkSPORT. With Paddy's Super Sub, your new bet rolls over to the new player coming on. T's and C's and exclusions apply. 18 plus, begambleaware.org.
Yes, time now for today's bet builder with the friends of Paddy Power. Let's welcome Fern Buckley to the show. Buckers!
Hello, guys. How's it going?
Oh, we can't see you, but we can hear you. Why is that? Where are you?
My dog ate my camera. No, there was a good reason I'm a super sub today. So I'm currently in the car. The Zoom's not working. But I made it on the phone just for you guys.
I appreciate it. You helped us out yet again. Thank you for that. Right, we've got you on because we are looking forward to tonight's second round EFL Cup match as Chelsea host Luton at the Bridge. Before we go through our runners and riders, can you remind everyone how the bet builder works and the charity that may benefit?
I absolutely can, yeah. We've all made some picks, looked across the markets, added them together, got some overall value. And then Paddy Power, they've chucked a tenner on it like they always do, because if we get it right, all the winnings go to the Attitude Foundation. It's a charity bet and helps out the LGBT community.
Brilliant. Right, to 5 bet builder, these are our picks. I've gone for, I see goals, over 4.5 I've gone for. Sorry, Jack.
More goals. Yeah, look at that opening game this season, a chaotic 3-2 victory over Fulham for Chelsea. For Luton, their opening 3 matches as well have had 14 goals alone. So, yeah, over 4.5 goals is very popular this afternoon. That's on at 7-4.
DB, what are you going for?
I've gone for both teams to score, please, Fern.
I feel like you keep going for this. You know,
Yeah,
you need to jump off the fence at some point, Benty.
I'm trying to win money, that's why.
I know. Well, to be fair, Chelsea have only kept 1 clean sheet in their last 10 outings, and both teams' market has actually come in 5 of Chelsea's last 6 competitive games, so it is a good one too. That is in at 4-5.
Producer Joe, I should know his name by now, has gone for Danny Welbeck to score at any time.
What's his name? Yeah, Joe. He had such a cracking time last season, Danny. The best goal-scoring Premier League season of his career at Brighton with 14 goals in all competitions. So considering he's tipped to lead the line in this game for Chelsea tonight, is a solid one to get in your bet builder. He's a super sub as well, so if for any reason he comes off, Paddy Power will protect your bet, and that's in at 4-6.
Right, next up are the people. The most important people on the planet. They've gone for Chelsea to win the game. I mean, that's a no-brainer, right?
Yeah, 18,000 people have this in their bet builder. 18,000 people, fingers crossing, they're hoping that it's going to come in and Luton. It's not going to happen. But yeah, Chelsea have won all 4 meetings with Luton since the start of 2021. They're going up against a side 2 leagues below them. So yeah, that 1-10 for a victory for Chelsea.
10-1 on. Last one is yours. What are you going for?
I got João Pedro to score or be shown a card. And I know he might not play the whole game, but after his performance this week against Fulham, had to get him in there. Also within a card market, given how tactically challenging he can be, I've wanted to get him in. He's a super sub as well, so if he doesn't play the whole game, then Paddy Power, like I say, will move over your bet to whoever comes on for him. That is in at 8 to 15.
Okay, hold on. That smells like a winning bet to me. Tell me what happens if we win.
It smells like it, doesn't
Yeah,
it? It's reeking of a win.
It does. It's reeking. I like good word. What happens if we win? How much?
It all comes in at 4.5 to 1, so from a £10 bet, we could get a return, a nice return of £54. And of course, it's a charity bet. It helps out the LGBT community at the Attitude Foundation.
You're a star. Thanks so much for coming on. Enjoy the rest of your day, and thanks for helping us out.
No problem. See you soon, lads.
Cheers, Buckers.
Bye.
There you go. That's Paddy Power's bet. But if it's today, minimum ones 1 to 5 leg. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
Paddy Power on talkSPORT. With Paddy's Super Sub, your new bet rolls over to the new player coming on. T's and C's and exclusions apply. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
Right, from 5 o'clock, or just after, because we've got the news and sport coming up in just a moment, but we will have live coverage of the draw for the Champions League. Now, this is a big... Can you not wait?
Listen to what you're saying. I'm just getting it out.
A big season for Arsenal. Because, again, you are chasing a trophy you've never, ever won.
Yeah, but listen, I'll take another Premier League title. If the Champions League doesn't come, it doesn't come.
I know, but you've got that monkey off your back now with winning. The Premier League is done now.
You've only back-to-back.
No, I know, but what I'm saying
done
is...
that.
I know, but what I'm saying is... Well, you have done it, but you've got to go back 92 years.
Yeah, okay, in the Premier League, we've never gone back-to-back.
But what I'm saying is, you go into this competition without the pressure of having to win the Premier League. How are you feeling ahead of it?
Yeah, I feel good. I feel really good. Listen, it is pressure because you want to win the Champions League, of course. But because they haven't won it, it's a bit like, well, okay, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. We'll go again. A little bit like when Pep got to City and it felt like every season we're going, this is their year.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen. But no, listen, I'd love to win the Champions League. But it's hard for me because I'd love to see Arsenal retain the Premier League because I think that it's so hard to win the Premier League, right? But the thought of finishing like second or third and win the Champions League, I'd be happy. Of course, I'd be over the moon. But the Premier League third, I'd be like, oh, really?
Do you rather have a Premier League title than the Champions League?
Maybe, yeah. But Arsenal need to down. But Arsenal need to down at that top table. They need to.
You need to win it. Okay. Right. Stay where you are. Keep talkSPORT on because when we come back, live coverage of the draw for this season's UEFA Champions League.
They were set a target by Celtic. That win should have been enough. And I know personally my football club has lost a 4-goal lead in the first leg before. So it can happen and you really build yourself up. If you think you can do it, you get yourself there. And Lask have obviously had those meetings, done that work, done those trainings, and they've got themselves a victory in the tie and gone through. I think what this says about Scottish football is really important. And let's face some facts here. Celtic are below the New Saints of Wales, Shelbourne of Ireland. They're behind La Fiorita of San Marino in the rankings in Europe. The Austrian League is ranked below the Scottish League, and yet Lask have just beaten Celtic. And Lask have got no real European pedigree or history of success. So how has this happened? I think you've just got to go back to the end of last season. Scottish football is eating itself. Every season it happens, and last season it happened worse than ever. Hearts showed some smart thinking, some common sense to build, to do something a bit special, to do something unheard of. And what happened was Celtic panicked, took a huge step backwards by appointing Martin O'Neill, no disrespect. And yes, they won the title, they won the cup and all that, but at what cost? At what cost? I look at Rangers took the Hearts captain and top scorer Shankland. They're wasting his talent at Ibrox. Rangers have had a European mayor. Hearts collapsed out of the Champions League before the end of July. Celtic an embarrassment. I think the clubs in Scotland need to take more responsibility, work together to save the future of Scottish football, to save themselves and the Scottish national team as well.
Aguero, Solskjaer, Deeney, Watkins. Sure, you know all about those last-minute goals, but have you heard the one about the on-loan goalkeeper who saved his temporary employers from disappearing out the Football League and into almost certain financial oblivion? Back in 1999, Carlisle United, managed by Nigel Pearson, were fighting to stay in the Football League. Carlisle's finances were precarious with a capital P that season, leading to a scenario where, with 3 games to go, they had to ask the FA to sanction an emergency loan deal to bring in a goalkeeper. Swindon Town's Jimmy Glass arrived at the club. His efforts in his first 2 games earned the Cumbrians 2 draws. Those vital points meant that Carlisle went into their final game of the Division 3 season, now League 2, needing to beat mid-table Plymouth Argyle in front of their own fans and hope their relegation rival Scarborough didn't win against Peterborough at home. The game at the McCain Stadium finished 1-1, and with the same scoreline at Brunton Park deep into injury time, Scarborough's fans invaded the pitch en masse, believing their Football League status was secure, convinced they'd done enough to stay up. However, there'd be one more plot twist. Carlisle won a corner in the dying seconds, and up came Jimmy Glass. In one of those you couldn't make it up moments, Glass scored from a rebounded header and was promptly swamped by teammates and thousands of fans who quite simply couldn't believe what they'd just witnessed. As for Jimmy Glass, he became an overnight celebrity, but he never played for Carlisle again, and his playing career never really kicked on after that defining moment. He took on various jobs outside of football before finding his way back into the sport as player liaison officer at Eddie Howe's Bournemouth, and most recently the general manager at non-league Wimborne. Not the fairy tale ending to one of the most Hollywood moments in football, but the name Jimmy Glass will live on forever as the scorer of that goal, arguably the most important in any club's history.
Welcome back to second hour on the big hour of Champions League Drive on talkSPORT. It's me, Andy Goldstein Darren Bent.
Do you love melons? Love melons.
Yeah. I bet you do. Still to come, we'll have the Champions League draw live with our European football expert, Kevin Hatchard, talking and taking us through it all. But now, Liverpool look like they're splashing the cash on this man.
Not it down to Bradley Barcola! Oh, yes! What a hit that was! In off the bar, left-footed! A fine strike by Barcola!
Liverpool have an agreement in place now for a guaranteed 100 million, could rise to as high as 120.
He's a young 23-year-old player that I think could be a roaring success.
I can only see the upside of that signing.
Moving through the gears, pokes it through, and that is a superb second goal. Bradley Barcola.
Great commentary, that, wasn't it? We must have made a fortune for that, because we should have done. Yes, Liverpool have an agreement in principle with PSG to sign Bradley Barcola for a package worth £120 million. He scored 13 goals and got 7 assists in all comps last season as PSG won back-to-back Champions Leagues. World Cup winner. And with France, Emmanuel Petit joined White and Jordan earlier this week. He said it's a great signing.
On the left flank, this guy can make so many differences. And this is what's missing as well with Liverpool, you know, the speed, something that can be fast, you know, running with the ball, you know, that can not scare, you know, of fighting against defenders. And this is exactly what they are missing at Liverpool. They have good players, but they need, you know, modern football is based on the fast players, you know, who can make this decision within a few seconds, you know, can make differences, you know, with the ball. And I don't think many players, you know, at Liverpool actually for that.
We have been joined in the studio again by Kevin Hatchard, our European football expert, and we're going to talk about Bradley Barcola and maybe Liverpool as well, of course, in the Champions League, because we're waiting for the Champions League draw to start. It hasn't yet. We've got it on all our screens, and as soon as it starts, we'll stop talking about this and we'll start talking about that. Kev, good to see you again. Tell me a bit about Bradley Barcola. He divides opinion, right? Because there's no doubt about his pace, but when you talk about him, his end product is what people talk about that he perhaps lacks in at the moment. Is that fair or not?
I think that's the area, if he's going to get to the absolute elite level, that he needs to be more consistent with. But he does score goals. He does make goals. He's more creative than he's given credit for, I think, sometimes. And this is a guy that definitely improves the 11 for Liverpool. I think what's confusing to some Liverpool fans is they look at the overall squad picture and think, okay, it's a lot of money to spend on one guy, especially when I think with Iraola's football, you're going to need numbers. Because if they're going to go deep in the Champions League, if they're going to try and qualify for the Champions League again, it's a lot of games. Are they going to be able to stand up to Iraola's pretty physical football? So that's a big question mark for me. I think the other thing as well is, what does it mean for Rio and Gamoa? Because you must not block him if you're Liverpool. Now, he's been playing on the right under Iraola, and that's fine. And Iraola is very much one of those coaches that doesn't necessarily want to shackle a winger to one side of the pitch. So that's fine. But it is a lot of money. I think it's exciting for Liverpool. I think Liverpool fans should be excited about it because he's mega quick. He has a lot of experience for a guy of his age, actually. He obviously played for France at the World Cup. You know, he's getting into big teams. There is no shame in being stuck behind Kvicha Kvaratskhelia. He's one of the best wingers in the world. So...
why'd you say that, D?
Say Kvaratskhelia.
So Kvicha Kvaratskhelia.
That's how you say it?
Yes, you say that then.
Creature? I'm saying he's a creature. Kvicha Kvaratskhelia.
Yeah.
That's not bad, is it?
Kvaratskhelia.
You say it.
No.
There's a very helpful, if you ever want it, when he was at Napoli, there's a very helpful video that he did on social media where he writes it on a piece of paper and he says it bit by bit. So there you go. There you go. But look, Kvicha, there's nothing wrong being stuck behind him because this is a guy that's won the league with Napoli. They called him Kvaradona because they absolutely fell in love with him. Like, stunning player. And that's the thing that's really knocked him down the pecking order at PSG. But he's still a top player. And the other thing as well is that you do not get in a Luis Enrique team if you don't press, if you don't run, if you don't do all those things that Iraola football demands. So it makes sense. The only thing that doesn't make sense for me, we talked about Alvarez potentially going to Arsenal, right? I can't understand why Arsenal weren't all in for him because it seems to me, I liked Solis a lot, absolutely, and I'm not surprised he made a good start. It feels to me like they need an elite player on that left-hand side to change with him and to have depth on that side, an upgrade on Martinelli, who I do like, but I think Barcola's better. I was surprised they didn't go for him, personally.
Is it a price tag? Because they're talking about 150 million euros. And it sounds inflated, but obviously this transfer window has been crazy in terms of the prices. So do you think that valuation of around 120 million pounds is fair? Or is it a bit much still?
Well, look, a player's only ever worth what another club is prepared to pay, right? And you look at the market, and PSG will have looked at it and said, we're not desperate to sell. Because what they've done is they've just very quietly just got rid of all the guys who were on their kind of second line in the attack, if you like. So Gonzalo Ramos went for big money to Milan. Then they got rid of Colomwani. He eventually got that move to Juventus. And they've just slowly been... Kang-in Lee moved to Atletico Madrid. They've made a hell of a lot of money with that, even before Barcola. So they're thinking, okay, well, we're flush. We can dictate this. And they look at Diamande and they say, well, Real Madrid paid this. We think he's at least as good as that.
Yeah.
So we're not in a rush to sell. So in the end, I can understand why Liverpool have paid the money for a player of his quality. It's just the overall squad planning that I wonder about.
Let me ask you, Kev, about the amount of money that's being spent at the moment. In this country, if you look at an average player, they're going for 55, 60, 65, 70 million. And you're looking at Barcola's going for, I don't know, 130 million pounds, 150 million euros. And that seems the norm over here. What are transfers like with big name players going from club to club or even European club to European club? Are they anywhere near that kind of money?
Rodri went to Barca for peanuts. Rodri's transfer fee feels like peanuts.
Well, I'm guessing part of that was his age.
Yeah,
and
it's
also
relative.
he had a year left on it. I don't think even a year left. He nearly went for free.
It's relative. I mean, look, Diamande, as I say, went for huge money, like no doubt about it, and could end up being Real Madrid's most expensive ever signing. So they've spent top dollar on him. Ferran Torres was a different situation. He didn't go for that much in the grand scheme of things. The issue really is, what can the big hitters in Europe actually afford? Not PSG. I'm talking about big names in Europe, like Milan, like Inter, like Juventus, like Atletico.
They've got money, those clubs you just talked about.
They haven't got the kind of money that can compete with the top six in the Premier League necessarily.
Or even the Premier League, right?
Well, I mean,
if you look at Nicholas Jackson, what, 65 million? I mean, that's a hell of a lot of money.
Could AC pay that?
Look, they spent a lot on Ramos, so yes is the answer, but they went for him. But that was an outlier. That was unusual. What you have to look at, I think, if you're looking at a general trend in the last few seasons, clubs like Bournemouth, Brighton, Brentford are picking up players and they're fishing in the same pool as some of the really big names of European football. And that's not a knock against Brighton or Brentford or anything like that. But like, a player like Ordóñez, for example, looks as though he's going to go to Palace, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's a guy that's been on big clubs' radars for quite some time. But the Premier League is where a lot of these guys want to go. Ousmane Diomande is another one. He's just left Sporting, and in days gone by, one of the big hitters in Italy or Spain or Germany even might have tried to take him, but he's going to Palace. So
you said about shopping at the same window as the Bournemouth, Brentfords. There's a really good point you made there, because I'm looking at someone like Sangare, who's obviously started at Brentford, who's been on fire, and in my head I'm thinking, why would Inter, AC, these top clubs not take him? If Brentford can afford, because he's their record transfer fee, right? And he's more than good enough.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's great scouting. Again, the Premier League is really, really attractive for two reasons. Well, three. The money's great. It's a really, really good league with great atmospheres. But the other thing as well is that you go there, you can climb the ladder. Because you think, okay, I go to Brentford, play well for 2 years.
Good shot window.
And then, I could go to a Champions League club in England. I mean, it may well be that Brentford end up being the Champions League club in England the way they're going. But I just do wonder about, that's the kind of imagination that some of the big hitters in England, I think, lack a bit sometimes. I was a bit surprised. He was League One Team of the Year, Sangare. I mean, he's really good.
We've got you in the studio for at least another hour, and that's because when we come back, the draw for the Champions League will begin. You got your notes ready?
I'm ready.
Good.
Poised like a coiled spring.
I hope you're ready as well out there, because that draw is coming up live on Drive right after this.
I saw Martin doing his interview afterwards and covering the players. It was an appallingly cowardly performance from Celtic.
Cowardly?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the goal that really started the rot was an unforgivable error from one of their players knocking it back into the space where the guy can just run in and score a goal, which brought them back from the dead, this team. And then to concede goals directly after half-time, you wonder what managers say to these players at half-time that makes them so unresponsive that they go and concede a goal. But I thought it was a dreadful performance. And all this nonsense about, they might have got lucky in the first leg. I didn't hear that narrative being spun out when they won the first leg 3-0. All of a sudden, people are saying, well, they got lucky in the first leg. They did have a lot of shots on goal, this team. Their expected XG was 3 last week, but they didn't score 3. They scored 0.
Yeah.
And in this instance, you look at the performance and you go, what Martin taking the blame for it. This is not about Martin O'Neill. This was about the players on the field. And they didn't buy this player. And they sold £36 million worth of players and they only bought in £32 million worth of players. And the players that came off the bench didn't look like they had the wherewithal. It should never got to the stage where extra time came to play and the players that came off the bench look all lost. They were just cowardly. They were 4-0 up in a Champions League qualifier with the game done. They hand them back an initiative by giving them 1 goal, and then they absolutely capitulate.
Yes, yeah. Cowardly.
But I mean, I know that will be extra, that will be lifted up and maybe quoted somewhere else. But you can't think of any other word. Now, Martin can do all the best he wants. Now, Martin will be privately seething and sitting there and realising that the players have let him down.
Fuming.
But what he will do as an old school manager is deflect from the players and make it about himself. There's nothing about what Martin O'Neill did on that pitch that could legislate, or on the dugout, or what tactics is set up, that can legislate for a capitulation of that order.
Yeah.
Premier League football drama at its absolute best.
Oh
my Gabriel!
I can't watch this. He's definitely saw it next.
Messi!
No!
Yes! Come on! Get in it!
What was that?
You see this crap every single game in the Premier League.
Oh, this is
no goal.
That was embarrassing.
Yes, it's nearly time. You're listening to Champions League Drive on talkSPORT. It's me, Andy Goldstein Darren Bent. More importantly today than us two, it's Kevin Atchard in partnership with Giacomo. Style and brands for every man. As you would imagine, we've got the Champions League draw coming up in just a moment. Still to come on our show, we'll also be looking ahead to a big old weekend of boxing on talkSPORT and DAZN. Just quickly, Liverpool have been drawn at home to Spurs in the third round of the Carabao Cup. That was last night. Jack Grealish wants to return to Everton if he leaves Man City this summer. Right, the draw for the group stages of the Champions League is just a few moments away. To talk us through it, we're joined, of course, in the studio by our European football expert, Kevin Atchard. For those just tuning in, if you can, remind us exactly how the draw is going to work. Okay.
Yeah, so what you have in the league phase is everybody's in one big league table together, and you will have 8 games across the league phase. You will play 4 of those away, you'll play 4 of those at home, and you will play 2 teams from pot 1, 2 from pot 2, 2 from pot 3, and 2 from pot 4, and it will be home and away. So one of the pot 1 teams will be
But you
home,
won't play the
one will be
same
away.
team twice, home and away.
No, you won't. You'll only play them once. The thing that's slightly different this time around, it's only a small wrinkle in it, but Liverpool have been drawn at home to Real Madrid in each of the last 2 seasons. So that now cannot happen. They can still draw Real Madrid.
Why?
Away from home.
They've decided because they don't want the same game happening over and over again.
Why is that? Fish, is it?
Well, I think there's only 2 examples. So Liverpool can go to Real Madrid. They just can't have them at home.
Why? It's random, isn't it?
Because they don't want
Why are
the
you
same
smiling?
game over and over again.
Hey,
That is disgusting.
he's obviously in there. He knows, doesn't he?
You know,
Kev, that is... Kev, look at me. That's terrible, isn't it?
I think I can understand why they've done it. It's unusual. And also Arsenal can't go to Inter because they've been to Inter
Yeah, we have,
in
yeah,
each of the last 2
Who
seasons.
cares? It's random, isn't it?
So if Arsenal draw Inter, Arsenal will play them at
Are they
home.
stopping PSG winning? They've won it the last 2 years.
I don't think it goes to that depth, I don't think. But they're the only 2 examples I can think of.
I'm not comfortable with that. Listen, before
I'll tell Mr. Cheffrin next time I see him.
Okay, before we start the draw for the Champions League, we've got about 4 minutes. Let's go. I'm just trying to find out. We can. Okay, it's ready. Rangers, they're in Conference League qualifying action. this afternoon. The action is underway, actually. Paul Mitchell can tell us more. He's watching for talkSPORT. Hiya, Paul.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Jablonec 0, Rangers 0. Rangers leading 1-0 from the first leg, but it should be one apiece on aggregate. What a golden opportunity missed by Jablonec after 12 minutes. Lamine Yarwo was played through. Instead of cutting across the goalkeeper, he tried to fire in at the near post and ended up striking it wide. A real let-off for Rangers, who've been reasonably comfortable here. Apart from that, they've had a couple of small chances themselves. This is a match, of course, in the Conference League. If Rangers lose, they go out. There will be no extended European football for Rangers. So they have really got to get through this one. At the moment, it's Jablonec 0, Rangers 0. Rangers still leading aggregate by 1-0.
Good work, thank you for that. The draw is about 3.5 minutes away. That means we've got time to cross back over to Sam Ellardy. He's watching the cricket. He can tell us more, Sam.
Yeah, a wicket for Pakistan, and we've just seen one of the great catches in Test match cricket. England now 187 for 6. The wicket to fall is Jordan Cox looking to drive a full ball. There's a big, thick outside edge. It's Abdullah Shafiq at second slip, who throws himself to his right-hand side and takes the catch one-handed. Absolutely brilliant. Jordan Cox gets to 50, and he's out off the tee. Jamie Smith is unbeaten on 50. The new batsman to come to the crease is Gus Atkinson. Khurram has the breakthrough, but Abdullah Shafiq is second slip with an absolute worldie of a catch. England 187 for 6.
Thank you, Sam. If you're just tuning in, the draw for the Champions League is just about to take place. Kevin Echard, European football expert, is alongside me, Andy Goldstein, and Darren Bent in the studio. Pot 1, big hitters: PSG, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, Liverpool, Inter, City, Arsenal, Barcelona, and Atletico Madrid. A horrible question to ask. Is the winner coming from Pot 1?
I mean, yeah, there's every chance. I mean, I do think you look at PSG and they're at least as strong. Arsenal obviously will feel, having gone so close, they can kick on and do it again. And I think, you know, the business they've done already is intriguing. And Bayern, for me, have made some really good signings. I really like Nathaniel Brown, Saibari, and most importantly, the players they've kept. They've kept Diaz, they've kept Kane, they've kept Olise, who Real Madrid, I think, would have wanted to sign if they got any kind of encouragement. They went for Diamande instead. So you look at those. Barcelona, I think, because Rodri is there, if he can stay fit, that helps them so much.
Yeah, he seems to be the key in whatever team he plays in. When he plays for Spain, they win Euros, they win World Cup. Does he make Barcelona that much stronger?
Yeah, I think he does, because if you look at the way they want to play, there's so much risk involved in the way Hansi Flick wants to play. So he wants to press high, he wants to win that ball high, wants to push up. If you've got somebody like Rodri that can stop counter-attacks really, really quickly, that really helps. So if you get the kind of guy that can organise a game and maybe put them in better positions when they're on the attack so that when they lose it, they're not completely undone, I do think that really, really helps them.
The way the competition works now, the early phases of it, everyone's in the same league. Top 8 go through, then it's 9 to 24?
Yeah, so top 8 go through as of right and don't have to worry about the playoff round. And then 9 to 24, they will play each other in a playoff round to see who joins the top 8 in the last 16. And the ones that finish below 24, they're eliminated. Okay. There's no drop down to the Europa League.
Do you think the early phase of the competition, i.e. that league phase we're talking about, do you think that helps the bigger clubs more than it does the smaller ones? Because you don't have the home and away ties is the reason I'm saying it.
I think what you see is you see bigger games, I think, on a more regular basis. So you see, obviously, you're going to play 2 Pot 1 teams, right? So you're going to have those big games happen. And I think, actually, if you look at last season, some of the teams you wouldn't have expected to do really well really came through. I mean, Werder Glimt, they looked out of it. Wow. And then they suddenly beat City, and they went to Madrid and beat Atletico, which was incredible. They carried that momentum on. Karabakh were the same. Nobody, I mean, I didn't see that coming at all, that they were able to, there was no history that told you that was going to happen, but they made it through, and Newcastle stuffed them in the end. But still a hell of an effort to get as far as they did.
Horrible question, I'll ask it anyway. Out of all the English clubs involved, who do you think would go the furthest?
Arsenal.
Do you?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so, because I think they're...
your team, Kev?
I think, no.
Oh, fine. Okay.
He's Bayern.
No.
Are you Dortmund or Bayern?
Neutral.
I thought you would say 9.
My career flashed before my eyes then.
We have that every day, don't worry.
Yeah. I think when you look at Arsenal, they're the ones with the fewest question marks. Liverpool I think Iraola is going to be great for them in the long term. I think there's a lot of adjustment.
But don't you think the fact they haven't won it is such a huge hurdle, mentally a huge hurdle for them to get over?
Depends how much you value them winning that Premier League. I would say, normally I would say yes. In their case, I would say no, only because they came so close, and I didn't think they played great in the final. I understand why they hung on in the way they did. But look, they took PSG to penalties. They were in the mix to win it.
Yeah.
And they've won that Premier League, and they've won it pretty well. I think they'll win the Premier League again this season. And I think they've got a strong squad. So City have got Maresca at the helm. What's that going to look like? Are there going to be a few missteps there? Villa, of course, have pretty much had the team stripped, and Emery's got to start again. And United, I still think there are big question marks about the way they go about things in terms of recruitment, in terms of the decision to put Carrick in. So, and that's not to say he didn't do well last season. I just wonder if they're on the Solskjaer wheel again.
The draw for the Champions League is about 20, 30 seconds away. My last question to you is, who are the dark horses for it, Kev, do you think? Who are we not looking at thinking, actually, realistically, they've got a chance?
It is difficult outside that top 4 or 5. I mean, there's a fun team like Roma under Gasperini, who you wouldn't expect to go anywhere near the final. But actually, if they could get on a run and keep Dybala fit, they might have a decent run. Gasperini's a brilliant coach. Won the Europa League with Atalanta. You know, maybe they could have a decent swing. Sporting went further than we thought.
Yeah.
I think we might have as well, not necessarily a dark horse to win it, but I look at pot 4 and some of the teams there that you would not want.
Hold on.
You wouldn't want Stuttgart. You wouldn't want Lens.
Viking?
Definitely wouldn't want Como. Well, Viking is awkward.
Viking, yeah. Well, a lot of people think I pronounced that wrong, but I haven't, have I? Viking.
No, Viking. You're absolutely right.
Viking.
There's no need for that language on this show.
Bodo Glimt last season, were everybody's darlings, played brilliantly.
Yeah.
Who pipped them to the league title? Viking.
Oh, okay. Bodo Glimt got the pitch, right?
Yeah. They've got the artificial pitch.
Yeah.
So, look, I think there are obviously teams like Slovan Bratislava, for example, who 2 seasons ago lost all 8 games.
Oh, wow, okay.
But they might have learned from that.
Should they be in the Champions League, Kev, with that time?
Yes. Because look,
you need the smaller teams in it.
Yes.
You do. Why?
Because that's what it's supposed to be. That is what it's supposed to be.
Well, it's not. It's meant to be the champions.
It's supposed.
And it's not the champions, is it?
There are plenty of champions in there that people would look at.
Plenty of teams that finish 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th.
And lower than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are, including from the Premier League. But we don't have a go at them, do we?
Right.
Look, I think you do, because I think it's about stories. It's about opportunity. It's about trying to spread the wealth to a certain extent. I think UEFA's got big issues in terms of what the Champions League has created in some countries, because it's creating a bigger and bigger and bigger gap in some nations, because you've got the same team that qualifies for the Champions League every year.
Yeah.
But I am absolutely adamant that we do need to have a good amount of diversity across the Champions League, because otherwise it just becomes a Super League in all but name, and that's not what we want.
No.
Because it needs to be open. You need to feel like if a team absolutely gets it right and everything goes their way. Look at Ajax. I know they didn't make that Champions League final in 2019, but they were mighty close.
Yeah.
And that would have been incredible if they got to the final and played Liverpool and maybe even won it. So I think you have to still believe that can happen, even though everything tells you it can't. But I think you have to have that glimmer of opportunity still there.
Out of all the big hitters in pot 1, who do you think needs it the most?
Who needs it the most?
Yeah.
Atletico or Arsenal.
I was going to say Inter.
They've won it, though. Arsenal have never won it, neither.
Oh, okay. Well, I was just thinking
Inter would love to win it. Inter have been the best team in Italy in the last few years.
Yeah.
Haven't always rewarded themselves for that, because they've blown some leagues at times. Bodo Glimt, that really hurt them. Going out to Bodo Glimt was a nightmare, because they deserved to go out as well. They were outplayed in both games, and that ruined their season in some ways. They did the League and Cup double. I mean, they were the best team in Italy by miles, but that Champions League was a real blow. And having got to the final twice under Inzaghi, that was a real blow for them. Needs it the most is really interesting. I mean, in a way...
I'm thinking from the country as well, not just the club.
Well, look, in a way, Bayern, right? Because Bayern have dominated the Bundesliga. They won 13 out of the last 14. But it would be good for German football to have a European champion.
Yeah.
So I think that helps. And obviously a lot of their players play for Germany. And Bayern I think, have a team that is worthy of winning it now. The team they've constructed. I love how Kompany's gone about his business. I think he's done a brilliant job, actually. He knows he wasn't first choice, second choice, probably third choice. But the way he's embraced the job, the way he's gone about it, I think is phenomenal. I really do. I mean, Real Madrid will tell you they need to win it because they haven't won anything in the last 2 years.
You know,
and for them, that might as well be 20 years.
I was going to ask you, are Spain the only country who view the Champions League bigger than the league title?
No, I think it depends on who it is.
But with Real Madrid, I feel you could win La Liga and still lose your job if you don't win the Champions League.
Bayern have a slightly more pragmatic view of it than that, but there are coaches that have won the league and flamed out in the Champions League, and it's really counted against them. I think it's more of a club-by-club thing rather than a country thing per se. I think it depends on who you are, really.
Okay. The draw's just about to take place. Before we start talking about it, it's still not happened. Obviously, they're going through every single side. Who's your winners of this season's Champions League?
I hate to say it, but I think PSG again.
Wow,
I actually think that. Yeah, I actually
do you
think
really?
they can. I do, because
that's huge, Kev.
If you look at the way they've refreshed the attacking line, if you look at the fact that Luis Enrique still seems really up for this, if you look at the fact that they've retained almost all of their best players, I absolutely think they can. And because with Liga they can rest players, I think they could win it again.
Okay.
There we go. Thierry Henry.
You'll be pleased to know the draw has begun for the Champions League. So the way it works, they draw a team out from pot one. The first one they've drawn out is Real Madrid. Benny's getting very excited about it. So am I right in saying, Kev, whilst we all write the words Real Madrid down, they now press a button and we find out all the opponents of Real Madrid?
Yeah, because there were so many possible permutations, they have to do.
There you go. I think I'm right in saying the button is bigger this time.
Are they Group A?
Yeah. No, so here we go. So Real Madrid's opponents. Am I right?
Oh, Real Madrid.
Right, hold on. So Real Madrid have got Inter, Arsenal, PSV, Roma, Leipzig, Shakhtar, LASK Lask, and AEK Athens. Have I got that right?
Yes, you have. And they will go to Arsenal.
Real Madrid will be going to Arsenal. Okay, Bent, as an Arsenal fan, what do you make of that?
I'm buzzing. If Jason Bourne's listening, commentary, obviously, come on, Emirates.
All about you. Just to confirm.
He's angling for bookings before we've even started.
We all are. Be a good OB that day. Okay, I quite like the way, because now we can get excited about it. Usually it takes a long, long time before you get excited, right? So now Thierry Henry's drawing out another team from pot one. Obviously, Real Madrid have just been pulled out, and the team he's pulled out from pot one will be, he does things slowly.
Man City.
Thierry, no, you can't say that because that's a guess. It is Manchester City. How did you know that?
It was the only pot one team that had Manchester in it. So that's how he knew.
Do that. But he did that before he said Manchester, so don't like your tone if you want to come back. Right. So Man City have just been drawn out of pot one, as you would imagine, a big picture of Erling Haaland on the back wall, the big video screen behind them. The button has been pressed, and Man City's opponents will... Can you press the button?
Is that either for Real Madrid?
Yeah, because it happens too quickly. So Man City will be playing, oh my goodness, PSG, Barca, Sporting, Porto, Napoli, Leipzig, AEK Athens, and Lyon. That is, Man City will be playing PSG at home and Barcelona away. Kev, what do you make of that? In fact, you write it down, Bentley. You can give me your view on that.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. I mean, Paris, they're all tough, aren't they? But even all the way down to Napoli, you're like... And I think,
unbelievable.
I think Kev said about Leipzig as well, away from home. That's going to be difficult for them.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
That's horrible because you've got PSG and Barca, which is two of the toughest pot one teams, and you've got to go to Barcelona. Sporting and Porto, even though they're at home, they're awkward. You've got Napoli as well. We don't know what they're going to look like under Allegri. Leipzig away, Lens away. That's a great atmosphere at Lens. And they've beaten PSG this season already in the Trophée des Champions. And then AEK, you would expect them to beat AEK. But what I would say about them, they've got two really good strikers at the moment. Luka Jovic, who used to be at Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Journeyman these days, but still a decent player, no doubt. And they've got Barnabas Varga as well. So they've been scoring buckets of goals already.
Inter Milan have just been pulled out. Now, we already know that Inter Milan are playing Real Madrid away, but they are also playing Inter, Liverpool at home, Real Madrid away, as I just said, Club Brugge at home, Dortmund away, Shakhtar at home, Feyenoord away, Stuttgart at home, and Slava Bratislava away.
Looks all right, that, Kev.
Yeah, it does. I mean, there are some tough games there, in fairness. I mean, Stuttgart isn't easy out of pot 4. You wouldn't want to draw them. We are going to have a Curtis Jones Classico, though, because Inter are going to play Liverpool at San Siro.
Never been said before, is it?
There you go. There you go.
It's shaping up nicely, the draw, right?
Yeah, I think there's some... It's a nice mix, I think, because even in pot 4, you have got dangerous teams. I mentioned Lens that Man City have ended up with. Mentioned Stuttgart. Como with Cesc Fabregas at the helm.
Yeah.
Nobody expected them to qualify for the Champions League, so that's why they're in pot 4. But I wouldn't want them.
No. Barcelona are the next big hitters to be pulled out of pot 1. We're just waiting for that button to be pressed. We know, of course, that Barcelona have already got a tie with Manchester City at home.
I think one thing we should add as well, you can't draw a team from your own country at this stage.
Yes. That was a no-look press of the button, by the way, by David Villa. So Barcelona, Man City home, we knew about. PSG away. Oh, my goodness. Aston Villa, they've been pulled out the pot. Aston Villa at home for Barcelona. Sporting away. Feyenoord at home. Galatasaray away. Como home. And Sabah, rhymes with ABBA, away.
Kev, how come Turkey are doing so much business? It looks like all top players around Europe now are going to Turkey. Is that the place to go?
Yeah, I mean, they've got good funding. You can give players pretty decent tax breaks, it's fair to say, but they've got sponsors that help them out, and it's become a bit of an arms race. But Fenerbahce getting through to the Champions League, group stage or league phase for the first time in nearly 2 decades, that's massive.
Yeah.
Because to have Galatasaray in there and Fenerbahce is really huge and just underlines the fact that we've got a bit of momentum in Turkish football.
Arsenal?
Bentley's trying to... No, Bentley's trying... You can't say because people will be thinking, oh, is it Arsenal? It's not Arsenal. It's Atletico Madrid. Now, we already know that Atleti haven't been pulled out yet against another side, so we're waiting to find out all of their opponents. And a team as well that aren't necessarily favourites with people, but are a team you don't want to play, certainly away. I think that's fair.
Yeah, they've had some decent runs in the competition. They got to the semi-finals last season. So, they are awkward opponents. There's no doubt about that.
Well, Liverpool will be playing them, but Liverpool will be playing them at home. So Atleti have got Bayern Munich at home, Liverpool away, Manchester United at home, PSV away, Fenerbahce at home, Bodo Glimt away, Viking at home, and Stuttgart away. So Manchester United's name for the first time. We've seen it in this season's Champions League draw. Atleti have got Manchester United at home. Will United be happy with that? I just said no one wants to really go there and play Atleti.
No.
And Man United have just been pulled out the hat.
Yeah, you wouldn't want that. I mean, look, you've avoided...
Brilliant.
You then avoid some of the other big hitters in there. But do I want to go to the Metropolitano in the Champions League? No, I don't think I
Great
do.
stadium, though, isn't it?
What it does mean, by the way, we're going to have Liverpool against Atletico for the second season running.
Is that allowed?
That's allowed.
They're okay with that.
But it won't be allowed next season.
Okay.
If it happens again.
Wouldn't surprise me. Just to confirm, though, so Man United have been pulled out against the team from pot 1. They can't play any other team from pot 1. Is that right?
They'd have 2 teams from pot 1.
2 teams from pot 1.
They will,
So
but they will face one at home.
Oh, I see. Okay, so Atleti's one of those 2. Only one of them will be at home, and that won't be Atleti. Thierry Henry has just pulled out of the hat. PSG.
Champions.
The champions, 2-time winners. Kevin Atchard thinks that they can win it for a 3rd time. We already know that PSG are playing Barcelona at home. Oh, my goodness. And Manchester City away. I mean, just those 2 ties are mouth-watering enough, right?
Well, that's the belter. And obviously, Luis Enrique is the link between both clubs as well, having managed Barcelona's Champions League glory as well.
So PSG continue. Barca and Man City, I mentioned. Roma at home. Aston Villa away. Galatasaray at home. Villarreal away. Slava Bratislava at home. And Como away. That's PSG. Aston Villa fans, you will be going to Paris.
So, Kev, sorry, fast forward. If this happened again next year, could Villa not draw PSG again? Because they had them, was it last year, the year before? Or was it the second?
No, but it's in the league phase. So,
okay.
So if the knockouts don't matter. The knockouts don't matter.
I'd like to see the algorithms that don't allow that to happen.
I mean, eventually the computer will just combust because there'll be so many things it's not allowed to do. It will just absolutely melt. But Villa have already played PSG, of course, this season in the Super Cup and gave them a decent go, actually. It was a good game, that.
Liverpool are the next big team to be pulled out of pot 1. We know they're playing Atleti at home and Inter away. The button has been pressed. I quite like that button, actually. Porto are another team Liverpool be playing. They'll be playing Porto at home. Club Brugge away for Liverpool. Villarreal at home. Fenerbahce away. Lens at home and Lask away. That's Liverpool's opponents in this season.
Looks lovely, that draw.
Champions League. Yeah, I think they'll be happy with that, Kev, won't they?
Yeah, I don't
really
think that's
happy
too bad
with
at
that.
all. I don't think that's too bad at all, because you look at Lens is tricky from pot 4, but you're at home rather than having to go there. You look at the 2 pot 1 teams, Atletico at home, Inter away. Well, Liverpool have won at Inter fairly recently. Porto again at home. That's one you'd expect Liverpool to be favourites for. So, yeah, of the permutations that could have happened, I think Andoni Iraola will be pretty pleased with that.
Darren Bent is very pleased because Arsenal have just been pulled out of pot 1 by Thierry Henry. We know that Arsenal will be playing Real Madrid at home.
Here we go. I'm looking forward to this.
Here we go. Press that button as badly as you can.
Go on, David.
Oh, that's a bad button press.
Or Bayern Munich.
So here we go. So Arsenal have got Real Madrid at home, Bayern Munich away, Dortmund at home, Real Betis away, Lille at home, Napoli away, Saba at home, and Slava Prague away. Benty, your reaction to the tough game? Those top 3, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich and Dortmund.
And Napoli away.
And Napoli away. And Betis ain't going to be easy as well.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. I mean, on paper...
Great draw.
On paper, they look incredible. But Kev, talk to me. Give me a little bit of hope, please.
I mean, they're one of the best teams in the competition. So, I mean, if they're going to struggle... I mean,
It
Bayern
could've been-
away is tough. And that's a good test, I think, because obviously they played each other at the Emirates in the league phase last season. And I felt like that win over Bayern was really important for Arsenal, actually. I think it really built belief. And it taught Bayern a lesson. And Bayern went away and really worked on it after that. So, look, Napoli away is awkward, potentially. Dortmund at home. Dortmund are always tricky if they click, but I would expect Arsenal to win that. So, mouth-watering games in pot 1. Going to the Benito Villamarín, going to Betis is tricky, but I'd expect Arsenal to be top 8.
The last team to be pulled out of pot 1 is Bayern Munich. Now, we know already that Bayern Munich have got Arsenal at home and Atleti away. This, of course, is the last of the big hitters to be pulled out of pot 1. We'll have the whole draw, by the way, for you live on our show. No ad breaks as well, so you won't miss a thing. So Bayern Munich have got Arsenal at home, Atleti away, Real Betis at home, Manchester United away. Bodo Glimt, Bent is over the moon with that. Bodo Glimt at home, Lille away, Slava Prague at home, and Viking away. Manchester United, one of their opponents, will be Bayern Munich. But that will be away for Bayern Munich, so that's home for Manchester United.
So United's 2 pot 1 adversaries are going to be Atletico Madrid away and Bayern at home.
Can you stop both sides? Honestly.
No, we're just saying
hatred in. I can feel it.
Just saying what the games are.
Horrible. You're both vile. I used to think you're both nice people.
No, we're just saying what the games are. They're tricky. They are tricky. I think Bayern will love that because they don't have to go to Bodo Glimt. They can have them at home. They've got Slavia at home. Go to Viking. I think they would be pretty pleased with the way that's turned
Let
out.
me just read out the English clubs because, of course, we have a huge interest over here. So Man City will have PSG at home, Barcelona away, Sporting at home, Porto away, Napoli at home, Leipzig away, AK Athens at home, and Lens or Lens away. We're going to have to wait, I'm guessing, about 4 or 5 minutes till they draw pot 2. So we can talk about this. What do you make of that for Man City, Kev?
I think there's some really tricky games in there. Considering this is a season where Enzo Maresca obviously is trying to implement what he wants to do. He's trying to live up to what Pep Guardiola has set as a kind of level. And also Manchester City, obviously they won it fairly recently, but they have dipped a bit in the Champions League. I think there's no doubt about that. So, Lens away is tricky because that's a great atmosphere. Leipzig depends on what shape they're going to be under Demichelis. They've got a new coach. Porto at home, Napoli at home. What they are is coaches in Allegri and Farioli who can be quite defensively minded and quite awkward to play against if they come away from home. So it's not an easy set of games, that.
The draw will carry on in about 3 minutes' time. That gives us time to find out how Rangers are getting on. They're in Conference League qualifying action. Paul Mitchell is watching for talkSPORT.
Jablonec 0, Rangers 0. Rangers leading 1-0 on aggregate. It's been very tight, very cagey here. Both teams just trying to find their way into the game. Jablonec have had the better of the chances and arguably should be ahead. Lamanjawo has had 2 opportunities, one at a header wide after good work by Schlama on the left-hand side. But after a brilliant one, he was played through into the box after 12 minutes. And rather than cut across the goalkeeper, which fairly certainly would have scored, he went for the near post and blasted it wide, much to Rangers' delight. has to be said. We've got 30 seconds of normal time to be played in this first half. Jablonec 0, Rangers 0. Rangers still leading 1-0 on aggregate.
Let's ever so quickly go back to Sam Allard. There's been a wicket in the cricket. Sam?
Jamie Smith has been bowled by Muhammad Ali for 61. England now 222 for 7. Every time in this game that you think England are getting away for Pakistan. Pakistan strike back. It's a good ball, the ball angled into the right-hander. Little bit of movement off the pitch. Smith playing the booming drive, and he's bowled in between bat and pad. Smith goes for a well-made 61. England 222 for 7.
Thanks for that, Sam. Right, we are concentrating, of course, on the draw for the Champions League. The teams for the first pot have been drawn, so we're on to pot 2 now. I can tell you that Club Brugge are the first team from pot 2 to be pulled out, and their opponents have also been named. They have got Liverpool at home, Inter away, Aston Villa at home, PSV away, Bodo Glimt at home, Napoli away, Lens at home, and Stuttgart away. Kev, your views on that, Aston Villa and Liverpool?
Well, what it means is that obviously Villa are going to have to go to Club Brugge. You might remember the infamous Tyrone Mings game where he picks up the goal kick. And so I think they lost that game 1-0 in the end. That might have been the only goal of the game. So, yeah, that's quite a tricky place to go to face Club Brugge, because they've just won the league in Belgium as well.
Okay, pot 2, let me remind you, Dortmund, Roma, Sporting. Oh, the names have gone. Let me go over them. We got time. Dortmund, Roma, Sporting, Villa, Porto, Manchester United, Club Brugge, Real Betis and PSV are the big teams from pot 2. Dortmund's name has just been pulled out of pot 2. The button has been pressed. We know that Dortmund already have got Inter at home and Arsenal away. They also have Real Betis at home, Aston Villa away, Villarreal at home, Bodo Glimt away, AK Athens at home and Sabah away.
So we're going to have Villa against Dortmund. That's a great game.
And that would be
It's a
at
really
Villa
exciting
Park.
game. That would be at Villa Park, yeah. So we've got a few things. We know that Villa are going to have PSG at home. We know they've got to go to Barcelona, Club Brugge away and Dortmund at home. I mean, yikes. That's pretty tough so
Say
far.
that again, Kev, say that again.
So Villa would have Barca away, PSG at home, Club Brugge away, Dortmund at home. So far, that's what we know.
I can hear Gabby Agbonlahor crying right now. Porto are the next team from pot 2 to be pulled out. Now, we already know that Porto have got Manchester City at home and Liverpool away, 2 very tough fixtures. The button has been pressed, and I can tell you on the back of that, they have also got PSV at home, Real Betis away, Napoli at home, Feyenoord away, Slavia Prague at home, and Lask away. Kev.
Yeah, I mean, Porto really interesting because they surprised a few people by winning the league last season, and Francesco Farioli, who was an assistant to Roberto De Zerbi at one stage, rebuilt his reputation last season by winning that league because he blew it at Ajax the previous season. They were set to win the league and then really, really choked at the end of the campaign. So he's rebuilt his reputation. But they were knocked out by Forest in the Europa League last season. You might remember that horrible back pass.
Yes,
I do remember.
So, yeah.
Can't forget that one. Gabby Agbonlahor, I hope you're listening, because Aston Villa's name has just been pulled out of pot 2. We know that Aston Villa already have PSG at home, Barca away, Dortmund at home, and Club Brugge away. I mean, those 4 alone are incredibly tough for Aston Villa. Let's find out the rest of their opponents. I can tell you that Aston Villa will also play Fenerbahce at home, Galatasaray away, Viking at home, and Slava Prague away. I mean, on paper, that looks incredibly tough. I mean, every single team in this competition of pot 1 and pot 2, even pot 3, there's quite a few big hitters. There's no easy matches, I suppose, at this stage. But Aston Villa fans won't be necessarily happy with that.
Yeah, I think getting Viking at home, I think you'd look at that, obviously. Slavia away.
Yeah.
Well, no, but then you look at those 2 and you think, well, actually, where are the ones where we would expect to get the 3 points?
Yeah.
And if you've got 2 games there, Fenerbahce at home, Fener played really well against Lyon, but there's no guarantee they'll be able to do that in a lot of away games because they don't have the collective experience of this competition. They've got players who've played in it, but as a group, they haven't made it for nearly 2 decades this far. So there's a big question mark over them. Going to Istanbul to face Galatasaray is never easy, as Liverpool found last season.
Real Betis, they've just been pulled out of the pot. They already had Arsenal, Bayern Munich and Porto. Borussia Dortmund, Feyenoord at home, Lille away, Como at home, and Slavia away.
So just a couple of things on Betis that are interesting. Pellegrini's still doing it at 72.
Wow.
That man is a machine. If you look at what he's done with Betis, he's won the Copa del Rey. He's got them into the Champions League. They got to the Conference League final and lost to Chelsea. It's just phenomenal what he's doing. And when you think he was at Man City, did well. He was at Real Madrid. Just incredible.
The next team out of pot 2 is Roma. Now, we already are aware that Roma have got Real Madrid at home. God, some of these are mouth-watering.
Yeah.
And PSG away. Are Roma a team that could do damage? You don't want them, do you?
No, you don't, because, Doniel Marlon, Villa fans will find this difficult to believe, but Doniel Marlon's been absolutely incredible since he went to Roma. I think he scored something like 15 in 19.
Sorry, Kev. Every time I say you don't want them, Man United get drawn out. So, sorry, United fans. Roma, Real Madrid at home, PSG away, Sporting at home, Manchester United away. So United fans, a trip to Old Trafford to see Roma. Lille at home, Fenerbahce away, and two other sides that I wasn't quick enough to read out. But we'll go over all of these in just a moment. And by the way, if you're a fan of an English side that's in this competition, I'll read out all your fixtures as well. Right,
here we go.
Bit of respect for Manchester United, of course. They've won this competition many a time. Manchester United, we already know, have got Bayern Munich at home, Atleti away, and Roma, oh my goodness, at home. The rest...
These are the games you want.
No, they're not. The rest...
Viking, didn't
Shut
he?
your face, both of you. I want Viking and Viking B team. The rest of Manchester United opponents are Sporting away. Oh my goodness. Sporting away, Leipzig at home, Villarreal away, Saba at home. There's a win there, and Como away.
Cesc Fabregas.
Kev, we can see now Sir Jim Ratcliffe he doesn't look happy, does he? He looks quite unhappy with that draw. I think United fans will be unhappy with that.
It's not great.
No, it's not great.
I mean, you look at that top four: Bayern at home, Atletico away, Roma at home, Sporting away. Leipzig, as I say, it's really difficult to know how they're going to be because they've got a completely new coach in Martin Demichelis. Christopher Nkunku's gone back there. Still not convinced about guys like Antonio Nusa, who's talented but needs to step on a bit and needs to start putting up the numbers. But Como away, Villarreal away, they're awkward games.
I didn't know she was smiling when you said this about Arsenal's fixtures.
I'm just excited to have United back in the competition and taking on some of the best teams in Europe.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Not happy with it. Sporting have been pulled out of pot 2. Barcelona at home, Man City away, Manchester United at home, Roma away, Galatasaray, here we go, Galatasaray at home, Shakhtar away, Lask at home, and Lens, how is that pronounced? Lens away.
So just to go back to Sporting in general, and obviously playing against Manchester United, they had a good run last season. They got to the quarterfinals, obviously got edged out by Arsenal, gave them a decent game over 2 legs, didn't they? They've got a big rebuild on their hands because they've lost Ousmane Diamande's gone to Forest, Morten Hjulmand has gone to Atletico, Giovanni Kenda's gone to Chelsea. That obviously was delayed. It was loan originally. Trincão's gone. And they might lose Pedro Gonçalves as well, who's been a brilliant player for them for the last few years. So they are really getting rebuilt.
The last team from pot 2 has been pulled out as PSV. They've got Atleti at home, Real Madrid away, Club Brugge at home, Porto away, Shakhtar at home, Leipzig away, Stuttgart at home, and Viking away.
What I love about PSV is that under Peter Bosz, they'll just play the same way in all 8 games.
Yeah.
Like, he won't change it. He always used to say, people talk about a plan B. I don't have that. I just want us to do plan A better. That's what, and he just goes hell for leather.
Like that, isn't it?
But look, this
is what we do, mate. Well, all the English teams have got their opponents. So Man City, Liverpool, Arsenal, Aston Villa, Manchester United have all got their opponents. We'll go over all of those in fine detail in just a moment. But first, there has been another wicket of the cricket. Sam Elard can tell us more. Sam.
Yeah, Pakistan fighting back into this game. England were 187 for 5 and looking set for a decent first inning. Score is now 227 for 8. Muhammad Ali in the previous over picking up 2 wickets in 3 balls. He got the danger man Jamie Smith for 61, a ball then it back into the right-hander and bowled him. Then 2 balls later, he got Ollie Robinson for a 2-ball duck. It was a full ball and Ollie Robinson looking to come forward and defend, beating on the inside edge. The ball crashing into the top of stumps. So throughout the whole day, there's been moments where Pakistan have been on top, then England fighting back, and now Pakistan early on in this evening session with a couple of quick wickets to bring themselves back into this game. We can play until 7:30 this evening. Gus Atkinson played nicely unbeaten on 27. He has got a Test match 100 on this ground previously, and Jofra Archer is new to the crease. Overcast conditions here at Lord's. Good bowling conditions. This game nicely poised on day one of this second Test match. England 229 for 8.
Good work as always. Thank you for that, Sam. If you've just turned on the radio, we have been concentrating on the draw for the Champions League. It's been happening over the last hour or so. I can tell you that all 5 English clubs know their opponents. And if you have just turned on, you've turned on at exactly the right time, because I'm going to read them out now. Kevin Atchard, our European football expert, alongside us, and of course Darren Bent. I'll get your views on, let's start with Man City, PSG, the holders, Barcelona, Sporting, Porto, Napoli, Leipzig, AK Athens, and Lens. Kev, let's come to you first. I suppose you never want the holders, and you don't want any big hitters from Spain. That's a real tough group for City, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, because they've also got some awkward games against teams like Porto, like Napoli. You've got coaches who know how to set a team up defensively. They want to try and nick a point. Lens away is tricky as well, because that's a hard place to go, because the fans are amazing, absolutely amazing. But they've lost some big players with Sangare going. They've lost their coach as well. Pierre Sage has moved on. I'm fascinated to see City against PSG and Barcelona,
Yeah, me too.
because the question I suppose we're all asking is, how do you follow Pep Guardiola? And how is Enzo Maresca?
You can't.
No, so he has to do it his way. And if Mark Gay being in midfield is his way, then
He'd be up front by that, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
By the time that comes around. Benny, a quick word from you on that one?
On the group?
Yeah.
Yeah, decent. I mean, again, I think so many question marks, because, again, it's I know he's had success in Europe before Enzo Maresca. It's not the Champions League, but still, he's tasted success. I'm fascinated to see how they get on. But Manchester City, it almost feels like a rebuilding situation for Man City as well. Even though we know they're not, because they've got experienced players, there's still a lot of question marks around Manchester City, for sure, on the squad.
Liverpool's opponents, Kevin Atchard, Atletico, Inter, Porto, Club Brugge, Villarreal, Fenerbahce, Lens and Lask. What do you make of that? On a scale of 1 to 10, if Man City's is 10 or 9, how difficult or easy is Liverpool's group?
I think you'd look at Liverpool's and think it was more favourable. I think, Inter away, Inter are the best team in Italy, but Liverpool have been there and won. Maybe didn't deserve it on the night. Curtis Jones, ironically, I think played very well that day, as I seem to remember. So yeah, the Curtis Classico. Atletico at home again. Atletico are not the force away from home than they are at home generally. Club Brugge away, that's tough, but Villarreal were hopeless last season in the Champions League. They've got a different coach in Inigo Perez. Can he take them forward a bit? Lens at home, you'd rather that than be away from home. Lask... Lask did brilliantly against Celtic, no doubt about it.
Celtic just terrible.
Well, look, it was a mix of both, and they actually played better than the scoreline suggested in the first leg as well. They have had a phenomenal run under Dietmar Kuba, their coach. So he'd won the Austrian Cup the year before he got there with Wolfsberger, and then he went to Lask and did the double, which is just insane, really. But they don't have experience at this top level, so they'll hope to bloody a few noses. I'd be surprised if they made the top 24.
It's amazing how he knows that.
That's why he's in the studio, right? You can't do that. We're going to have a quick break. When we come back, we'll go through it in a lot more detail. Let me just give you the headlines. If you're a fan of Arsenal, Aston Villa, Man United, you might not know. Arsenal, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Dortmund, Real Betis, Lille, Napoli, Saba and Slava Prague. Aston Villa have got PSG, Barcelona, Dortmund, Club Brugge, Fenerbahce, Galatasaray, Viking and Slava Prague. And Manchester United have got Bayern Munich, Atletico Madrid, Roma, Sporting, Leipzig, Villarreal, Saba and Como. If you want to have your say on that, if you're a United, Villa, Arsenal, Liverpool or Man City fan and you want to have your say on the draw, or you want to ask Kevin Atchard a question, you can phone up as well, 03717 223344. So lots of reaction coming up after this with regards to the Champions League draw. And Gabby Agbonlahor, of course, Aston Villa legend, will be giving us his view on all of the above. If you want to join the party, you can. Just an hour left to drive. And we'll go through the draw again when we come back if you missed any of it. 03717 223344. Get your calls in now for Kevin Atchard. We'll see you in minutes. Stay where you are.
So he was shouting, apparently, Allez l'homme, go Olympique Marseille, which, of course, is like putting oil in water when it comes to Lyon fans. They absolutely detest Olympique Marseille, and they detest Guendouzi, and they showed that in their reaction. Simon, who's more at fault in these flashpoints, though? Ferreira, the goalkeeping coach, reacted in a big way, and that led to widespread scuffles. Is it the provocateur, who in this case is Guendouzi, or is it those who take the bait? In this case, the Lyon fans, the Lyon players, and the Lyon goalkeeping coach?
Well, there's degrees of responsibility and culpability, but Guendouzi is the fire starter. Guendouzi's behaviour, as it was when he played in this country and decided that he could run around a football pitch telling everyone how poor they were in comparison to him, which ultimately got him shipped out of Arsenal.
Who did he tell that how much he
Neil
earned?
Maupay.
Neil Maupay of Brighton. Yeah.
And I think it was Wenger, wasn't it? Just about enough of him and said,
it was Arteta.
Was it Arteta?
Yeah, he did enough of him.
Sorry, it was Arteta who binned him off. And here he goes again. Now, people are responsible for their own behaviour. So everybody is culpable, and everybody in terms of the professionals on the field, the players, and the support staff that have got involved should have a consequence for it.
Yeah.
But he should have the primary consequence, because without his provocation, without his antagonising nature, without his ridiculous over egging of the pudding and baiting and inflammatory, the fans are not professional footballers.
Aguero, Solskjaer, Deeney, Watkins. Sure, you know all about those last-minute goals, but have you heard the one about the on-loan goalkeeper who saved his temporary employers from disappearing out the Football League and into almost certain financial oblivion? Back in 1999, Carlisle United, managed by Nigel Pearson, were fighting to stay in the Football League. Carlisle's finances were precarious with a capital P that season, leading to a scenario where, with 3 games to go, they had to ask the FA to sanction an emergency loan deal to bring in a goalkeeper. Swindon Town's Jimmy Glass arrived at the club. His efforts in his first 2 games earned the Cumbrians 2 draws. Those vital points meant that Carlisle went into their final game of the Division 3 season, now League 2, needing to beat mid-table Plymouth Argyle in front of their own fans and hope their relegation rival Scarborough didn't win against Peterborough at home. The game at the McCain Stadium finished 1-1, and with the same scoreline at Brunton Park deep into injury time, Scarborough's fans invaded the pitch en masse, believing their Football League status was secure, convinced they'd done enough to stay up. However, there'd be one more plot twist. Carlisle won a corner in the dying seconds, and up came Jimmy Glass. In one of those you couldn't make it up moments, Glass scored from a rebounded header and was promptly swamped by teammates and thousands of fans who quite simply couldn't believe what they'd just witnessed. As for Jimmy Glass, he became an overnight celebrity, but he never played for Carlisle again, and his playing career never really kicked on after that defining moment. He took on various jobs outside of football before finding his way back into the sport as player liaison officer at Eddie Howe's Bournemouth, and most recently the general manager at non-league Wimborne. Not the fairy tale ending to one of the most Hollywood moments in football, but the name Jimmy Glass will live on forever as the scorer of that goal, arguably the most important in any club's history.
Welcome back to Last Hour Drive, Champions League Drive on talkSPORT. It's me, Andy Goldstein, Darren Bent, and the ledge. He's proved he's a ledge as well. It's Kevin Atchard.
Normal melon.
That's the one. Still to come, we'll be looking ahead to a huge weekend of boxing live on talkSPORT and DAZN. But we now know who the English sides are facing in this season's Champions League.
And it isn't to be for Arsenal as Paris Saint-Germain celebrate back-to-back Champions League titles.
Mbappe onto his right foot. Sensational. Absolutely magnificent.
Villa, 30 years after they last tasted glory, are going to be getting their hands on silverware.
Back to Erling Haaland. Left-footed shot. He's picked up the corner.
And it's siphoned into the net by Kai Havertz. Bruno Fernandes tries his luck. Oh! What an extraordinary goal.
Szoboszlai in on goal, hits it. Oh, what a goal. What a strike from Dominic Szoboszlai.
We love the Champions League on talkSPORT.
Oh, we so do, Adrian Durham. Yes, the Champions League draw has been made. There are some tasty fixtures involving the English sides. We're bringing the draw in full shortly. We don't really care about the other draw, do we? We know who we've got. Just a few headlines. Man City host PSG and go to Barcelona. Liverpool host Atletico and travel to Inter. Arsenal play Real Madrid and Dortmund at home and go away to Bayern Munich. And Man United, the favourites, host Bayern Munich and Roma.
Man United, the what?
Shut up. As well as travelling to Atletico. Meanwhile, Aston Villa have got PSG and Dortmund at home, plus Barcelona and Galatasaray away. Soon we'll get the Villa perspective on things with Gabby Agbonlahor. But first, Kevin Hatchard alongside me. Which of the English sides is happiest and saddest right now?
I think Liverpool would look at theirs and think that was okay because Inter and Atleti of the pot one teams, I think that could have been a lot harder. Not that they're easy games, but I think they could have been harder, and they've beaten Atletico recently at Anfield, and they've won at Inter recently. So I think they'll be okay with that. Porto at home, that's better than going to the Dragao. Villarreal at home, Villarreal have been poor in this competition of late. Lens at home, that's much better than going there. And Lask did very, very well to get this far, but I think in general they're going to struggle to get to the level required. So Liverpool, I think, will be fairly pleased. I'm not just saying this because it's you. I do think United have got a really tough set. But I've been working it out here.
Yes.
And I do think they'll get enough to qualify for the playoffs.
How many points do you need, do you reckon, to get into the top 8 and the top 24?
Top 8. I mean, off the top of my head, I think about 15 or 16 gets you there, but I might be wrong about that. But I think that's about where you need. I think it's about 9 or 10, is it?
Top 8 last season, Man City were 8th, and they got 16 points.
Yeah, that's about the level, isn't it, to get top 8?
We'll talk about my team in a bit. We'll talk about your team as well, Benny, in just a moment. But let's get more reaction to that draw. With regards to Aston Villa, former Villa striker, Gabby Agbonlahor joins us live on Drive. Gabby, good evening to you.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Thanks for coming on. So, in case people have just turned on the radio, Aston Villa have got PSG at home, Barcelona away, Dortmund at home, Club Brugge away, Fenerbahce at home, Galatasaray away, Viking at home, and Slavia Prague away. Your reaction to the draw, Gabby? Honestly, hand on heart, you happy with that?
I'm absolutely buzzing about this draw. Aston Villa are not going to win the Champions League. This is about Aston Villa testing themselves against the best teams. Outstanding away trips for Villa fans. Aston Villa have been to Club Brugge twice in the last Champions League run. Imagine going to the new camp for these Villa fans. Istanbul for Galatasaray, just won the Europa League final in Istanbul. The Villa fans had the time of their lives. And what a city Prague is. So some exciting games.
Gabs, you said that Aston Villa are not going to win the Champions League, and I agree with you. But what should the aim then be realistically for this Aston Villa side that seem to be losing players left, right and centre?
I think definitely to get in the top 24, Bentley. I think definitely trying into the playoffs. If not, try a bit harder to get into the top 8. But that'll be difficult with the squad of players that we have got. But I look at teams like Dortmund. Let's not get carried away with how good a team Dortmund are. Fenerbahce as well. Is it right, Kev? It's been 13 years since they've been in the Champions League. They're not
longer.
Fenerbahce of old. Viking at home as well.
Viking.
So there's games in there that Villa can get enough points to finish in the playoffs.
Pronounce Viking, Gab. Viking, not Viking.
Same thing, mate.
Look, Gabby, it's really interesting, and he is right, unfortunately. But I think there are enough points there to definitely get a playoff place. I think what's then interesting is once Emery's got a chance to remodel this squad, and once he's had a look at the players that he's brought in, and once you get to the start of next year, then Villa become a team that nobody wants to play in the playoffs, don't they?
Look what happened last time we were in the Champions League. Because of is it 3 million a win? Because of that money, Aston Villa were able to get, in January, Marcus Rashford on loan, Asensio on loan. So if we can use that money again, re-strengthen in January, you never know, do you, Kev? But I do think for Villa fans, when will Aston Villa be playing Champions League football again? Only God will know. Let's enjoy it. You know, some exciting ties at Villa Park. Dortmund, PSG comes to Villa Park where they've been once and they've lost.
Gab,
Champions League knockout stage.
It's interesting you mention players that Aston Villa have signed because it's been a busy day in the window for Villa.
Yes.
Watkins is off. You've signed Leon Goretzka. Tammy Abraham is going on loan to Ipswich, but Nicholas Jackson is coming in from Chelsea for £65 million. Are you happy with that?
Listen, when you look at Nicholas Jackson, he had his best season, didn't he, with Cole Palmer, and that was Cole Palmer's best season for Chelsea as well. Even last season, didn't get much game time at Bayern Munich, but still scored 8 goals in the Bundesliga. So I think he'll do well for Villa. Obviously, Ollie Watkins will go to Saudi Arabia, but Goretzka coming in, some experience, Kevin knowing more than all of us, but I'm sure they've got some more business to do, Aston Villa. But this draw is exciting for Villa fans. Going to the new camp, going to the new camp as an Aston Villa fan to watch your team go against the best, that's what Villa fans want.
So, Gab, for the whole season then, what should happen to Aston Villa? Because you're saying there about what is acceptable in the Champions League, and I fully understand that and agree with you.
Yeah.
But what about Premier League as well, domestic trophies? What should Villa's aim then be this season, where you'd go at the end of the season, yeah, it's been a really good one?
You know what, Bentley? The aim always has to be European football, because this manager will not hang around to be finishing in the top 10, top 12. We have to finish in European places. If that means by winning a domestic trophy, we have to be playing European football at the end, the start of next season. So I think acceptable for Villa would be top 10 with the strength of some of the other teams and what they're able to spend. And then hopefully we can go and win one of the domestic cups.
It's interesting what you say about Emery, actually, because I'm hearing a lot of people say, there might be clubs that want to take him, and I totally accept that because I think he's one of the best managers around, there's no doubt. But I think what people forget sometimes, and you'll know this very well, he has total control at Villa, right? He has, all departments. He's got an overview. He's able to shape transfer policy. There are things that happen that he doesn't like in terms of players leaving that he would want to keep, but that's not because he doesn't have control. There's not going to be many clubs around Europe that are going to give him the keys in the way that Villa have. And it was absolutely the right thing to do. But, there aren't too many clubs, I think, that would tempt him in that way.
I think exactly what you say there, Kev. Like, the owners, they're not on by the dugout looking for the cameras after games. You don't see them. They've given Unai Emery the club. He's got his close friend Damien, who is the main guy doing the transfers. And if a player has to leave, Unai Emery's in the meetings and he understands. He totally gets it with the rules. You've got to sell some of your better players, but he's picking every signing. If it's a Manzambi that comes in, he's going to be an exciting player who's injured at the moment. João Gomez, Goretzka, whoever it is, Nicholas Jackson, who he had at Villarreal, who will play good under him. He decides everything at that football club. And like you said, he won't get that elsewhere. I just worry he's obsessed, isn't he, with Europe? 5 Europa Leagues. Now we're in the Champions League. If there's no European football, will he get, his eyes look somewhere else? I hope not.
Gabby, you got some big games to play in the Champions League, PSG, Barcelona. Can you see some of your big name players like Nicholas Jackson, Garnacho, causing them problems?
What are you grinning for, Andy?
I just had something in my eye. I'm just curious.
No,
it was as if you didn't think he could see you then.
I know. I don't even have to see him, Kev. I know his character. He's immature. Listen, all I can say is that the transfer window is not closed yet. Judge Aston Villa's business when the transfer window closes on Tuesday. But I'm sure the manager and the club will do everything they can within the rules to get the best squad available. And hopefully, Benty, I know you'll be doing every Arsenal game. Hopefully, talkSPORT and the bosses will send me on a jolly up to all the away games.
I hope they do. Gab, you're a superstar. It's always a pleasure.
Cheers, boys.
Thanks for coming on, man. See you soon.
Cheers, lads.
Kev, we've got one more section left with you. We'll go over maybe everyone's questions. If you want a question for Kev, you want to phone up, we'll take your call when we come back. 03 717 223344. You're listening to Champions League Drive on talkSPORT. The headlines, the draws just happened. The headlines are Man City against PSG and Barcelona. Liverpool got Atletico and Inter. Arsenal got Real Madrid, Bayern Munich and Dortmund. Villa, as I mentioned, PSG, Barcelona, Dortmund, Galatasaray. Manchester United have got Bayern and Atletico Madrid. Elsewhere, holders PSG host Barcelona and Bayern Munich go away to Atletico. If you want to have your say on National Radio and ask Kev a question, 03717 223344. Dial that. You could be next live on Drive.
It's a win, Chaz.
Yeah,
but it is Charlton. Come on, that's not going to be the measure, is it? We're not going to find out too much about Spurs against Charlton.
No, we won't. But it just shows what the EFL Cup meant to Charlton.
Yeah,
they made 10 changes.
Yeah. Well, they were underdogs, and they went into it, and I suppose they're thinking, listen, we're not going to win it. Let's make sure, because promotion is the most important thing with Charlton. Like I said, unbeaten so far, so they're very much in the hunt for that promotion race. 03717 223344. He's Charlie Austin. I'm Jason Cundy. Have you been to a game? Tell us what you've seen. Tell us what you've heard. Let's go straight to lines. Let's go and speak to Trev, who's a Spurs fan. All right, Trev? Trev?
Hello, Jace. Spurs are back.
Spurs are back, Trev.
Spurs are back.
Spurs are back.
Definitely.
No, yeah.
Honestly, tonight, I know it was Charlton.
Trev, drop me out, mate.
But it's 5-1.
Trev.
Jace.
Trev.
5-1.
Trev. Trev.
Well, lovely.
Trev.
Yeah.
Come on, 5. Take the win, right? Go home.
Jace,
and go to bed. No, it's fine. The Spurs aren't back, Trev. Come on, mate. You lot were an absolute disgrace. No, you're not.
Wait till Saturday,
No,
Dave. You're
chaps, all serious.
Different Spurs side.
All right, so chaps, a different Spurs side from what we see Saturday evening, which was the same old Spurs. Then you've just beaten Charlton reserves / under 23s, and now all of a sudden Spurs are back. I don't see it.
Chaz, just wait until Saturday before you comment any further, please. Because honestly, you got to give us a chance.
How's that? Next March, the England cricket team face Australia in the 150th anniversary Test match down under. And as always, the Barmy Army will be there. Thanks to talkSPORT, Visit Victoria could be too. Enter now at talksportwin.com for the chance to score an incredible week-long trip for two to watch the 150th anniversary Test match in Melbourne with Visit Victoria and the Barmy Army. Enter now at talksportwin.com and get ready to experience the electric atmosphere that only a Barmy Army tour delivers.
Welcome back to Champions League Drive on talkSPORT. It's me, Andy Goldstein Darren Bent. The legend is Kevin Ashard, alongside in partnership with Giacomo, styling brands for every man. Still to come on our show, Got loads of time. We'll be looking ahead to a huge weekend of boxing live on the talkSPORT network and, of course, DAZN. Just quickly, Jack Grealish would like to go back to Everton if he leaves Man City before the end of the window, despite being linked with Aston Villa. And Liam Delap has joined Forest from Chelsea in a club record deal worth £50 million. Now, over on talkSPORT 2, from 7:30 tonight, you can hear Brighton. They're in action in the Conference League playoffs second leg. Alex Crook will be watching. He's got all the team news ahead of that one. Crookie, good evening to you.
Good evening, Andy. 2 changes for Brighton from the side that hammered Aston Villa here in the Premier League at the weekend. Both are injury enforced. Kostoulas and O'Reilly come in for Ruter and Hinshelwood. So it's a very strong Brighton lineup, stronger than the first leg in Norway last week. Verbruggen in goal, Vifa, Vuskovic, Dunk and Buscagli the back four, Gross and Ayari in front of them, Gomez, O'Reilly and De Kuiper in behind the Greek youngster Kostoulas in attack. 0-0 from the first game in the Arctic Circle. Brighton heavy favourites to win tonight and book their place in the Conference League draw tomorrow.
Thanks, Crookie. From there, we go to Chelsea. They take on Luton, of course, in the second round of the Carabao Cup. It's live on talkSPORT as well. Team news for that is in. Sam Matterface can tell us more. Sam, good evening.
Only 5 changes for Chelsea from the side that beat Fulham on Monday night live on talkSPORT, Andy. But Enzo Fernandez is not part of the travelling party. He's not in the matchday squad today as talks to take him to Manchester City reach an advanced stage. That's breaking news in the last few moments that we're bringing with you here on talkSPORT. So Enzo Fernandez not in the squad this evening. Let me tell you who is. We have a 35-year-old debutant tonight. It's Danny Welbeck who leads the line, and a very young goalkeeper as well, Mike Penders, who steps in with an opportunity to prove that he could be a contender for the gloves full time. Chavarria, Achimpong, Lacroix and Barco make up the back line. Gusto could play in midfield or at right wing back tonight. Reece James will anchor the midfield. Maybe Palmer will drop slightly deeper. That's because Esteval has joined Rodgers in the attack behind Welbeck tonight. What about Luton Town? Had a good start in League One. Jack Wilshere struggled on his visits to Stamford Bridge previously. He's made quite a few changes tonight, 6. They know they're going to have to suffer without the ball. They usually have about 70% possession during their regular league matches, but that probably won't be the case tonight. Their goalkeeper Keeley is well thought of, and he starts right from the very beginning. Ashby, Odoffin, Johnson and Johnson make up the back four. Walsh and Banega in the middle of the park. Kadua, Casey Palmer, who was once a Chelsea youth player, and Lawrence behind Callum Marshall in attack. We're underway at 7:30 tonight, and we're live on talkSPORT.
Thank you, Sam. Finally, Rangers, of course, in Conference League qualifying action right now. Paul Mitchell is watching for talkSPORT.
Where it's Jablonec 0, Rangers 0. Rangers still leading 1-0 on aggregate thanks to Ryan Nadiri's goal at Ibrox in the first leg. But really, should have scored again. There was a wonderful piece of play by young Finlay's Curtis on the right-hand side, sent a crossover in the middle. Now, Ryan Nadiri's 6'4", and for some reason he threw his leg at the ball rather than his head, which if he connected properly, would almost certainly have scored. Went with the leg, it looked very inelegant, it has to be said, and he didn't connect with the ball. So Rangers still trying to push and find a way to kill this tie. Jablonec are not out of it yet. Jan Sushan's come closest for them so far. But as it stands, Rangers going through. Jablonec 0, Rangers 0. Rangers leading 1-0 on aggregate.
Top work as always. Thank you, Paul. Right, if you're joining us late, the draw for the Champions League was made, completed about half an hour ago. Some of the headlines: Man City have got PSG and Barca, Liverpool got Atletico and Inter, Arsenal got Real Madrid, Bayern Munich and Dortmund, Villa have got PSG, Barcelona, Dortmund and Galatasaray, Manchester United got Atletico and Atletico and Bayern Munich. Elsewhere, PSG, the holders, have got Barcelona and Bayern go away to Atletico. Just looking at Man United, sure, we haven't really spoken about Manchester United. Sabah, I'm not too familiar with them. I know you are because you know everything. Tell me a bit more about them, Kev.
So they're going to go to both Old Trafford and the Emirates. They're the Azerbaijani champions, so they beat Karabakh to the title, and Karabakh showed last season what a good team they are. It's the first time they've qualified for this stage of the Champions League. Had to come through 4 rounds of qualifying, beat Hapoel Beersheva by scoring a goal right at the end of normal time and then won it in extra time. But their coach is a Lithuanian guy called Valdas Lambrauskas. Now, he only played in the third tier of Lithuanian football, so didn't really have much of a playing career to speak of. But back in 2002, he went on the Lithuanian version of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. And he only won.
Unbelievable knowledge.
So he only won $7,500, right? But he used that money to come to England to fund his studies. So he came to do a sports science degree. And while he was doing that, he was trying to get his coaching badges. So he managed to get youth coaching jobs. He went to Fulham, he went to Man United, he went to Brentford. He managed Kingsbury London Tigers at one stage in non-league. And he's been here, there and everywhere. And he's come to Azerbaijan and he's won the league.
Wow.
It's just phenomenal.
How old is he? Roughly?
He was about 20. He was 25 in 2002, so he'd be late 40s now.
Oh, wow, okay.
So, and he's been around. He's been, some big clubs elsewhere. But massive achievement to get them to this stage.
Do you think for smaller clubs in the Champions League, it's a chance for a player or a manager to make a mark?
I think both. Yeah. I do think both. And I think more and more now, I think you're seeing what, they do have imagination clubs. I mean, look, people scoffed when I said that Newcastle had done well to get Matthias Jaisler because they've gone, well, hang on, a Saudi club, Saudi owners of Newcastle, it wasn't that hard. But what I meant by it was a guy like Matthias Jaisler has kind of been at Salzburg, then he's gone to Saudi, which was an unusual move. So he's a guy that had quite an unusual path already, and he's still only in his 30s. I think he's going to be great for Newcastle. I really do. And I think, obviously, a guy like Lambrauskas, that's even more off the radar. But I think clubs are looking all the time. I think they're looking all the time at, and if you can do well in the Champions League against big hitters, and you can show you can set up a team. We talked about Farioli earlier, didn't we? Didn't happen for him at Ajax. It did at Nice. He's rebuilt his reputation at Porto. If he plays well against Man City, and if he plays well against Liverpool, and Porto still do well in the league, Premier League clubs will look at him. They've looked at him before, and they'll say, yeah, okay, we'll pull the trigger on that. We'll go for him. That's the kind of platform you need sometimes to kick on.
Kev, you've been so good this afternoon. I am going to make sure, I'm going to speak to management and make sure we double your tenner.
Wonderful.
Yes, £20 is coming. I don't think I've clapped out a guest before, but just genius work. Genius draw. I mean, listen, I know I'm good, right? But you make me a tiny bit better when you come in with your knowledge.
And I still have to give you a tenner each at the end, don't I?
What for? I'm forgetting you in the studio.
Yeah,
of course. Yeah.
So that works out.
Grievance.
Square, we're square.
Grievance.
Yeah. All good.
Kev, you're a star. When are you next on? Give yourself a plug. Are you on the Transeurope Express?
Yes.
Commentary? What are you doing next?
I'm on TransEurope this Sunday, so I'm really looking forward to that. And we've also got some podcasts coming up as well. To keep an eye on. To do with TransEurope as well. So, yeah, looking forward to it.
Superstar. Thank you so much for coming in.
Cheers, guys.
Still to come on our show, we're looking ahead to a busy weekend of boxing. First, it's time for No Googling. And even though we've said goodbye to you, your mic's still on. You can't answer this one, Kevin.
Okay.
Just nod if you know it. Who are the only two sets of brothers to win the Champions League or European Cup in the same team? Just tell me if you know it, Kev. Two sets of brothers.
I'd have to think about that.
No?
I'd have to think.
One's quite obvious. All right?
Yeah,
I don't think you have got it. Go on, I'll let you have one. It's two sets.
No, I'm good.
Does it all the time. Kev, if you keep listening to Talk Sport and Drive, you'll get the answer.
Okay.
All right? I'll just tell you when we fade this down. The answer to that and more is coming up last 30 minutes of drive right after this.
Michael, where are you with Isak at this moment? I just think that particular penalty, Szoboszlai was always taking it, and likes of Isak had far more to lose than he had to gain by taking that penalty. But where are you with Isak at this moment in time? And he looks to me, he obviously had big injury problems and all that stuff. The move was well documented. Newcastle fans are unhappy. What's it going to take for him to get playing with a regular confidence and show the ability that we know he has?
Well, I'm not sure about you, Ali, but I had plenty of injuries in my career, so I know how hard it is to get back, and you do need a bit of time. And everybody's given him time and understood that, but then he's sort of finished the season, then he's gone to the World Cup, And now he's had a pre-season, and you just think, okay, now we're starting to run out of excuses. We need to start seeing the real Isak, and we know how good he is. I mean, wow, we saw him for Newcastle. I mean, he's absolute class. But we haven't seen it for Liverpool just yet, and I think, questions will come now. As I say, always give him the benefit of the doubt in the past with Liverpool, but at the start of this season now we're expecting, and Liverpool absolutely need him. They've lost Salah, Ekitike's out, there's not that many options in attacking areas. They absolutely need him to be on top form. Yesterday he was far from it. I thought he was a yard off, and that's worrying. But so was Wirtz. I thought he was really quiet as well. So, it wasn't the greatest performance for Liverpool. They actually did well to scrounge a point in the end. But obviously he's the big money signing. He's headline maker. And I can't say he played well, because he really didn't.
Amen Corner, perhaps the most feared run of holes in golf. Each year it claims the tournament hopes of many, with balls hitting bunkers and water traps aplenty. But why is it so fearsome, and where did it get its name? Just the thoughts of holes 11, 12 and 13 at Augusta National gives the likes of Rory McIlroy and Jordan Spieth the shivers. McIlroy hit 3 over and Spieth hit 4 over in their final rounds to blow their hopes of a green jacket in 2011 and 2016 respectively. But did you know Amen Corner's name is inspired by a jazz song from 1933? American sports writer Herbert Warren Wint, on the left here, wrote about it in 1958, referencing the song shouted in that Amen Corner when describing the run. Hole 11 is a par 4 over 520 yards, with a green guarded by a pond and bunkers to the front edge. 12, perhaps golf's most famous hole, is a par 3 over just 155 yards. The green's guarded by Rays Creek at the front, more bunkers and azalea bushes ready to punish the smallest error. Then there's the 13th that teases the hook shot over the trees. It's a dogleg par 5 over 545 yards that's inviting for big hitters who want to reach the green in 2. If you want to win the Masters, you have to keep your score down around Amen Corner. So who'll be the next to fall victim to golf's most famous and most daunting challenge?
Driver talkSPORT, me, Andy Goldstein, singers, Darren. I say singer, it's Darren Bent. You're right. I mean, you've worked really hard this afternoon, haven't you?
I mean, Kev is just, do you know what I mean?
I mean, I've talked. You've done nothing.
No, I've talked a little bit. Do you know what I mean?
Didn't even need to be here today. Are you still getting a show fee for that?
Yeah. It's
embarrassing. You
no,
pick
it's
up
nice,
that.
obviously.
Embarrassing.
Do you know what I bring?
You should phone like Liam up and go, do you know what, I'll pass on today.
I bring the looks and the humour. So look, you
know what, you don't bring any of that.
I do. Looks, everything.
Styles. Style you bring. Don't bring the humour. Make me laugh.
Are you laughing now? I haven't done anything.
I'm not laughing. Make me laugh. Tell me a joke.
Why are you laughing? I can see your face.
I'm not laughing.
Murmuring.
Go on, tell me a joke. Make me laugh. If you're the humour, tell me a joke.
All I'm saying is the bill. There you go.
By the way, he's not talking about the TV show.
There you go. That'll be funny.
Wait, I better not be laughing later at that. Jeez. We want to know who the only two sets of brothers to win the Champions League or European Cup in the same team. Kevin Hatchard, you got it like that.
Neville's, De Boers.
Yes.
Loudrops.
No, Loudrops didn't do it.
No, I'm joking.
Oh, who's your man that texted you with the answer?
Ross.
Sorry.
And Curtis Davis.
I've just seen the joke that's coming up. You ready?
Yeah.
Follow us at 7. Hugh will be hosting live
Andy,
commentary.
come on. We've been here for the Champions League final.
Huh?
Draw. Champions League draw.
Yeah.
I'm finishing at 7.
No, Wozencroft.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, follow us at 7. Hugh will be hosting live.
Andy, I finished at 7. I told you already. I'm not continuing after 7.
No, Hugh Wozencroft.
Okay.
Hosts live.
Hugh's doing it.
I'm doing it. I've done 3 hours of this show, mate. My voice is nearly gone.
Okay, right.
Oh, Wozencroft.
Yeah.
Right. He's hosting live commentary of Chelsea against Luton in the Carabao Cup. I just told you I ain't doing it. I'm going at 7. All right. Hugh's doing it.
It's so bad.
Hugh's doing it.
I'm not doing it. I finished at 7. If we're at the back, it's not just.
That joke lives forever.
I like it even more because Hugh hates it.
I don't mind it. I think it's really funny. Everyone talks about Q. Oh, talkSPORT Q. It's Brighton against Tromsø in the Conference League qualifying, and Rangers are currently in Conference League qualifying action. There's been a goal. Paul Mitchell, which way has it gone?
Well, it's not good news for Rangers, that's for sure. Jablonets 1, Rangers 0 on the night, 1 apiece on aggregate. Vangtang Chanturishvili with a wonderful move inside the box. Soljem's Penreese to the other side, and Curry's shot across Ivor Pandur into the opposite corner of the net. It was a terrific strike, a really bright goal in what's been a pretty drab game. We've got 10 minutes to play as it stands. We're heading towards extra time, but it's the home team who have the momentum at the moment, and Rangers in a little bit of trouble. Jablonets 1, Rangers 0, 1 apiece on aggregate.
What's happening to Rangers and Celtic?
Honestly, it's just bad to worse, isn't
What's happening? Talking of bad to worse, Sam Ellard joins us now. He's watching day 1 of England's Test match against Pakistan. I'm only kidding. We love you, Sam. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
It's none of your business. Just get on with it.
No, okay, sorry. Bad light here at Lords. We are done for the day a little earlier than planned. We had a delayed start. Pakistan winning in the toss and bowling first in cloudy conditions. England go to the close. 248 for 9. Mohammad Abbas picked up 3 early wickets to get Pakistan off the perfect start. England 36 for 3 in a spot to bother. But at number 3, Jordan Cox played nicely, passing 50 for the second consecutive Test match. Jamie Smith also made 50 as England moved the score along to 227 for 6 in a healthy position. But late in the day, the Tourists picked up 4 wickets in 9 overs, which means it feels very even Stevens come the end of a very frantic day of Test match cricket here at Lords, day 1 of this second Test match. England go to the close 248 for 9.
Sam, I was only joshing. I love you. You know that.
It's just banter, really, isn't it? Right? It's just kind of like presenter cricket reporting banter, right?
How's your love life going at the moment?
It's quiet. It's non-eventful. It's not ideal. But you know what? I'm okay with it, mate. I'm okay with it. I don't mind. I'm in a happy place.
How are you training, Sam? Do you need a fresh pair?
Do you know what? I wouldn't say no, Benty, actually.
To what?
Next,
I've got you.
to a fresh pair of trainers.
Oh, my goodness.
Because one of them, Benty, you got me. They're really nice. But it really hurts my left toe or my left foot because it's like half a foot smaller than me, the shoe. But I wouldn't say no to another pair, mate, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, man, I'll hook you up.
Why are you talking about Sam and not the people you work with?
Because no one's ever asked me.
Yeah,
but this is from Sam from way back when I was doing breakfast.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Thing is, Andy, like I was around before Drive existed, you know.
I don't think anyone was around before driving.
No, like you on Drive.
Oh, fine, okay.
Yeah, sure.
Before you.
Let me tell you now. This drive's only been one of a kind.
Yeah, special
I've heard
stuff.
you got tiny feet. Is that right? Tiny feet.
No.
Tiny feet.
Fake news, false information.
Like a little China doll.
No, factually incorrect once again.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll speak to you tomorrow. No, it's
I mean, if we have to.
Why have you picked now at 6:38 to have a long conversation?
Because we
had
the Champions League draw.
I know. I felt like maybe I could have got more involved though during that.
What, the Champions League draw? I tell you what, you couldn't have done worse than Benty. He said about 4 words.
I know. I've said more words on Drive today than Benty.
I know. And he's taken a full.
No, I told you I'm here.
Oh, you have told me. You have told me why you're here. Yeah. Don't know why Sam's here.
Well, because there's a fascinating Test match going on at Lords.
That's the reason we've got you.
Yeah, I hope so.
We'll speak to you tomorrow then.
Chat tomorrow, boys.
Later, Sam.
Ciao.
See you, mate.
Right, this Saturday you can witness history as Moses Atama bids to become Britain's youngest ever heavyweight world champion. So let's look ahead to the big fight now with DAZN.
Big fight build-up on talkSPORT with DAZN. This Saturday, witness history as Moses bids to become Britain's youngest ever heavyweight world champion. Exclusively on DAZN Saturday Fight Night.
What's at stake? Of course, it's the biggest fight of my life.
There is the destructive power of this exciting teenager.
He's the best I've seen since Muhammad Ali.
Moses Italma gets the biggest win of his professional life. Moses Italma! That's it! Overcome from Delvin Franklin, and now Moses Italma bows to his crown.
This is the hardest fight. Like professional, amateur, the threat, the opposition.
With respect to Filip Hrgović, Moses Italma is going to go through him.
I don't buying that story, that hype. I'm not buying that.
Don't buy it, you'll see it.
Not long to go. Today's Thursday, tomorrow's Friday, and then it's the big one. Italma against Hrgović for the vacant IBF World Heavyweight title. It's live on Saturday at 7:30 on the talkSPORT network and, of course, the talkSPORT Boxing YouTube channel, or just watch it on DAZN. Italma joined White and Jordan earlier on today. He said he can feel the expectation around him getting bigger day by day.
I would say this fight week has definitely been a bit different than every other fight week. It's like the fight keeps getting bigger and the odds are always going in my favour. So it's not about expectations, but it's more like if I was to beat, or when I do beat Filip Hrgović, am I going to get the same credit as if I happened to be an underdog? That's the only thing that I'm kind of maybe concerned about. But apart from that, it's like, you know, you can have the weight on the world on me, but like, as long as it don't affect my my performance against Filip Hrgović, like, I just push it to the side, and then there's just noise.
Now, when I come in on the train, in the tube in the morning, I sometimes stick stuff on YouTube for me to watch.
Yep.
And one of the things I watched this morning was Hrgović against Daniel Dubois.
When he got stopped.
He got stopped, I think 7th, 8th, 9th, quite late on in the fight. I have to say, I forgot about Hrgović. I don't think he's that good. He's very robotic.
Yeah.
He's like elbows by his waist quite often. I don't think he's going to be a test at all. I would be surprised if Italma won this in 2 rounds. I really wouldn't. Would you?
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but I genuinely think Daniel Dubois is a top heavyweight. I think he's brilliant. Of course, he's been absolutely schooled twice by Alexander Usyk, but that can happen. He did it to AJ twice, he did it to Fury twice. So there's no kind of shame in that. But the way I saw him get off the canvas against Fabio Wardley and then come back to win, I thought, oh my goodness, that was the bar I remember against AJ when he destroyed him. So I don't really put too much stock in Hrgović losing to him, but I think Itoma's going to be too quick, too sharp. Everything that we've seen so far leading up to this fight tells me that he's going to have too much for him, because I get it. Hrgović is, when you say robotic, he can take a lot of punishment, he can walk people down, walk forward. I just think if you keep getting hit, keep getting clipped, at some point the wall's going to come down eventually. And I just think that for someone like Moses Italma, I mean, this is his first proper test. I mean, I thought Dillian White might have done, but he clearly had nothing left.
What's happened to Dillian White, by the way? Have we heard from him since that fight? Has he done any interviews after that?
I think he's had a fight since then. I think you got that wrong. I think you might have fought in Portugal potentially, but I can't.
Joe, can you Google that?
I can do it.
Joe can do it, and then you can give me your full concentration.
No, I'm gonna Google it just for that.
No, don't.
But no,
otherwise.
But no, I think with the Jermaine Franklin fight, I mean, I get it. He stopped him, and no one had ever stopped him. But I always question a boxer when training camp, you get to the ring and you're fat. What have you been doing in training camp?
There's no.
So I always struggle. Like, Fury's a bit of an anomaly because he's a top quality boxer. But if you've been training and you're a heavyweight boxer, you should be ripped.
There's no other athlete in sport,
darts.
Well, you know what I mean, that isn't ripped. Top athlete. Name a world champion or someone that's knocking on the door.
Yeah.
That's got fat and flab. And
that's what I'm saying.
I've never understood that.
No.
I don't get that.
So even when he got to the ring, huh? He said, "Look, I said darts are."
So what was the question?
You said about athlete who's not ripped. He said, "Look."
I like the way that when Joe spoke in your ear, you went, "Huh? What?"
No, it was Al. Al said it.
Oh, Al, don't talk in it. You know he can't juggle. You know he can't do more than one.
But yeah, I think that I think he'll win relatively comfortable. But it's after.
Sorry. That's how long it took Al to get that gag. That's a good 40 seconds after. It took him 40 seconds to come up with Luke Littler.
He's not fought since then, Dillian White.
He hasn't, so you're wrong.
Yeah, I was wrong. Sorry.
Apologise.
I apologise. But I think once he beats Hrgović, which I expect him to do, and if something goes drastically wrong, I think that's when I go, here we go. Because he's a world champion now. So there's no more of these, like, not so much, I won't say warm-up fights, but like it's top level only now. Yeah, here we go. Here comes the Dubois.
Next, there's no one about. Yeah, okay.
Even Fabio's up there, Wardley's up there. Joseph Parker still kicking about.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah, there's
Fury, AJ, there's still people there.
No, they're done now. They're like,
yeah, but they're still big names, aren't they?
Knocking on the door 40, those two.
Mm.
By the way, I've got time, Joe, and I, because we haven't. Let me ask you this. When I say Tyson Fury, what's the one thing you go, I remember him for that? Because you know what it seems to be, to me, when he was knocked out.
Yeah.
And he got up.
Deontay Wilder, that's exactly what was in my head. When he got up at The Undertaker.
Yeah. That's the one thing you remember. Not the one thing, but that's the first thing.
Yeah.
That's not good for a boxer. The first thing you remember about him.
He was getting knocked down and getting up.
And got up.
I mean, just drop the performance he put in that second fight was unbelievable, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He stopped him.
I mean, to get up from that punch was...
That trilogy...
How the referee didn't call that off when he went down Sparko, I do not
That
know.
trilogy isn't spoken about enough. Remember, was it the second fight and the third fight where they both went down? Like both. At one point, you're thinking Fury's going to stop him. Then he gets knocked down twice.
Yeah.
He gets back up.
I think it was the second fight. That was a great fight.
Yeah.
Who wins, by the way, AJ Fury, if and whenever?
Well, looking at AJ's last performance, I'd have to say, because people said to me, am I stupid for asking, should this be a problem? And to get knocked down twice in the first round, I know you stopped him in the end.
Don't matter. That shouldn't be happening in a billion years.
Question marks about that stoppage, by the way, as well.
Oh, really? Why?
Well,
you turning into Simon Jordan on me?
No, but when I spoke to a couple of the boxers, I'm not going to put them out there on blast.
Yeah.
I said...
On blast?
Yeah, I said, why did the boxer, I can't remember his name, who AJ beat.
Yeah.
Stop doing what got him in the first. And he went, I don't know.
Yeah, no one really does know.
Yeah, see, that's a bit. I don't like that.
Oh, you turn it to Jordan now. I don't think if you're a boxer and you've knocked down AJ a couple of times
For an extra couple of quid.
Yeah, but that's absolute god. Paul, I think don't quote me. I think it was
There we
Paul
go.
Malaji that said on air. I think it was him. I'm pretty sure it was that. After the first round, someone comes over to your corner and offers you a few. That can't happen in boxing.
Well, that was very bizarre. You're on top.
There's no way you get a sort of after the first 3 minutes, someone going, listen, Sean, don't keep punching him.
Okay, but why would you completely stop doing what you did in the first half?
I don't know. Maybe punched himself out. I don't know the answer.
It's round two. Punch himself out in round two.
Maybe he trained for a good 3 minutes.
Yeah,
that was it. They go, second round's coming up. He's like, what? I've got to do this again. I'm knackered. That was a look ahead to a town where gets Zergovic with DAZN. Join DAZN Ultimate for 185 plus fight nights and 12 plus pay-per-views every year, including Talma Hrgovic and Ryan. What a fight this will be! Ryan Garcia v Conor Benn, all included at no extra cost.
Big fight build-up on talkSPORT with DAZN. This Saturday, witness history as Moses bids to become Britain's youngest ever heavyweight world champion. Exclusively on DAZN's Saturday Fight Night.
All right, Gabs?
Gabby!
Jamie, what you on about,
Of the
mate?
Villa!
You're just jealous, mate. I've been hearing you all day.
What are you on about?
You're talking guff, mate. Just because you're jealous.
What are you on about?
You're jealous.
How can you finish 17 2 years in a row and spend half a bill?
Because we've got the cash, Gabs.
Yeah, but that ain't fair, mate.
See? Jealous.
It ain't fair, Cundy.
No, I agree. Do you know what? I agree with Gabby on this. I totally agree with him.
No.
This has got no. I'm not.
Win the Europa League,
I'm not picking.
and we can't flipping spend.
I'm not picking sides. I'm telling you now. Villa and Newcastle should be able to spend.
Cry me a river.
No, 100.
Cry me a river.
Jay, listen.
Thank you, Cundy.
I totally agree with him.
Gabs,
totally agree with him.
Stop crying, mate.
Jamie.
Stop crying,
Totally
mate.
agree with him.
Stop crying.
Jamie.
Gabs.
You're signing rejects from Manchester City.
Good players,
is
mate.
unwanted. Savino's a reject. Robertson's a reject from Liverpool, not wanted anymore. Conor Gallagher's a reject from Atletico Madrid. Spurs are signing rejects.
Hold on a minute. You've sold 5 of your best players. All right, you're absolute guff this season. Oh, the rules! Oh, the rules! I thought you was a big club. I thought you was a big club.
Well, we are a big club, but
you're
the
not,
rules
though.
don't let us.
You're not, though.
Because you
Can't
and
spend
your
any money.
cartel, top 6, you and Cundy, don't want Villa in there.
Don't bring me into this. I have nothing to do with this, Gabby.
Mate, keep you out of it. Only big boys allowed in the top 6, mate. You're not big. You have to sell your best players. We don't have to sell our best players.
17th, right, and go and spend £500 million.
Because we're a big club, Gabs. Stop whinging.
How's that? Next March, the England cricket team face Australia in the 150th anniversary Test match down under. And as always, the Barmy Army will be there. And thanks to talkSPORT, Visit Victoria could be too. Enter now at talksportwin.com for the chance to score an incredible week-long trip for two to watch the 150th anniversary Test match in Melbourne with Visit Victoria and the Barmy Army. Enter now at talksportwin.com and get ready to experience the electric atmosphere that only a Barmy Army tour delivers.
I used to be able to make that noise. It's Drive on talkSPORT, Champions League Drive as well on talkSPORT. It's me, Andy Goldstein Darren Bent, in partnership with Giacomo. Get fresh looks and great brands from Giacomo. Follow us at 7. Hugh will be hosting live comedy.
I'm telling you now, stop saying I finish at 7. Stop trying to get me extra shifts.
Wozencroft.
I'm on that, sorry.
Who do you think I said?
Hugh.
How you doing? I'll finish at 7 with you, mate.
No, Wozencroft.
Oh, right, yeah. He hosts live commentary of Chelsea against Luton in the Carabao Cup. Meanwhile, on talkSPORT 2, it's Brighton against Tromso in the Conference League qualifying. And, of course, Fulham host AFC Wimbledon in the Carabao Cup. Team News is in for that one. Joe Shannon can tell us more. Joe, good evening.
Good evening, Andy. There are 10 changes for Fulham tonight. Not unexpected after they were beaten here by Chelsea on Monday. Oscar Bobb is the only survivor. Among those coming in, Joachim Andersen returns after suspension. And Shea Charles, recent signing from Southampton, makes his full debut. For Wimbledon tonight, after their goalless draw with Reading in League One, there are 6 alterations. Sweeney, Tilley, Smith, Hippolyte and Seddon are the 5 who keep their places. And one interesting thing of note tonight, we're going to see 2 brothers go head-to-head. Wimbledon's Steven Sessegnon and Fulham's Ryan Sessegnon up against each other over the course of 90 minutes and indeed perhaps penalties. It's another London derby at Craven Cottage. It's Fulham against Wimbledon.
Good work as always. A reminder after another busy night of football. Never get sick of saying that. The boys on the Sports Bar take calls from 10. Right, before we meet Billy, a man with no friends, a reminder of some of the headline games from today's Champions League draw. Man City got PSG and Barca. Liverpool got Atletico and Inter. Arsenal got Real Madrid. Go on, Real. Bayern Munich, go on, Bayern Munich. And Dortmund, go on, Dortmund. Aston Villa got PSG, Barcelona and Dortmund and Galatasaray. Man United have got Bayern Munich and Atletico. Elsewhere, holders PSG have got Barca and Bayern go away to Atletico. Paul Mitchell can join us now because it's all over on Rangers Conference League qualify. It wasn't good before. Any change, Paul? Is that how it finished?
Andy, that's how it's finished. It's Jablonec 1, Rangers 0. So 1 apiece on aggregate. So we go to an extra 30 minutes of football. The goal came after Vantang Chanturishvili got the ball into the box, moved away from James Penrice and just rifled his shot across and into the far corner. Really lovely move. That's been one of the few highlights in a game that really has been the footballing equivalent of a half-and-half scarf. There's just not something quite right about it. Jablonec and Rangers going to extra time now.
Nothing at all.
Phil, how's your day been?
Yeah, really good actually. Yeah, really good.
No.
Really good.
Oh, Alex, late.
Really good day.
I heard, by the way, just quickly, I heard you were watching Friends, the one with the new computer.
Yeah, unbelievable.
What, remind everyone what
unbelievable
happens in that?
Chandler gets a new computer.
Yeah.
And he can't work it, so he actually asked Joey for help.
All right.
And
Oh, it's
Joey
great.
can
Yeah,
work
what are we doing for the end of the show?
And that makes it incredible, does it? Wow.
What are we doing? We've only got 2 minutes.
That's the intro.
Oh,
Finish the day on.
I might as well go first, quick, isn't it?
Andy, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I'd love to, yeah.
All right, you'll hear the first beat of a song. Tell me the song.
All right, fine.
Here we go.
All right. Everything She Wants. That's either Wham or George Michael. I think that's Wham.
Going Wham?
Yeah.
Is correct. Well done.
Unbelievable. That. Thanks, man. Cheers.
2 beats.
Good
1-0. Benny, over to you.
Bill, why are you laughing, bro? What was that, please? Yeah, no. Oh,
I know
Park Life.
Yes.
By, I don't know their names. New Order or something?
Blur.
Blur.
Yeah, Blur.
New Order. Okay, 1-0. I know the song, but I don't know. I don't know his
I was
name.
playing like once.
I don't know. I know the song very well, but I don't know it.
Got nothing?
No.
Voulez-vous from ABBA.
Cool. Yeah, I did know that.
Got it now.
Benny, over to you.
I want to say Dizzy Rascal, but I don't think it is.
No, I don't think I know what it is.
You going to say Dizzy Rascal?
Yeah.
No, not right.
Is it Frankie Valli in the Four Seasons?
No.
Oh.
That was Calvin Harris, Slide. Feet Frank Ocean.
I've never heard that in my life. Have you heard that?
I've heard it, but I mean, I'm not going to get it from half a second.
What's the score at the moment? 1-1.
Yeah, 1-0, I think.
Okay.
Andy, over to you.
All right.
Ow, it's stingy, man.
Do that again now? Can I have a tiny bit more?
No, we can't. No.
Oh.
Footloose. Kenny Loggins.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
I'd like half the track, please.
That is unbelievable knowledge.
I didn't know. I've got the answers. I didn't know.
That's incredible.
Very good.
Go on,
Go on now. Whole track, please. That is Drake. And it's I got my eye on.
No, I don't think that is. Is it?
It's and that's Drake anyway. And it's
I think it is.
Good girl and you know it.
Is it?
Oh, I don't know.
It is Drake. Yeah.
All right.
Hold on, we're going home.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I got it. Yeah.
Should we go out on that one?
Yeah, I hope it's clean.
Let it roll.
Or not.
Bill, get out of studio.
Well done, lads.
See, another good show. Next up, of course, is Hugh. He'll be here.
I'm leaving. Yeah, I'm done. I'm leaving now.
I'm at Wizard Club. Good tune.
Who's on Hugh?
I ain't doing it. I'm going now with you. See you at 4 tomorrow. Be safe, everyone. Be safe.
They were set a target by Celtic. That win should have been enough. And I know personally my football club has lost a 4-goal lead in the first leg before. So it can happen, and you really build yourself up. If you think you can do it, you get yourself there. And Lask have obviously had those meetings, done that work, done those trainings, and they've got themselves a victory in the tie and gone through. I think what this says about Scottish football is really important. And let's face some facts here. Celtic are below the New Saints of Wales, Shelbourne of Ireland. They're behind La Fiorita of San Marino in the rankings in Europe. The Austrian League is ranked below the Scottish League, and yet Lask have just beaten Celtic. And Lask have got no real European pedigree or history of success. So how has this happened? I think you've just got to go back to the end of last season. Scottish football is eating itself. Every season it happens, and last season it happened worse than ever.